All right, everybody, we're going live in 3, 2, no, 3, guys, come on, let's focus up. We're going live now. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Oh, wrong one. That's okay. Hey, everybody! How are you doing? It's Wednesday yet again, and we are live here on the internet. Yeah, it kind of looks a little weird. I don't have any players tonight. I don't know what to do with myself. So, yeah, this feels so wrong. I need, you know, people in here, just firing away. But, you know what? Every season comes to an end. That means new beginnings. So, this is super exciting. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us for the first ever episode of Bardic Brews. A little something different. So grab your coffee, grab your drink. If it's late at night, grab your hot milk and go to bed. We're just gonna relax and unwind. How are you doing, everybody? It's so good to see you. I have missed just chatting with everyone, interacting a little bit. And let me know as well, as always, because you know I'm not a professional up here. Let me know how the music is. If it's too loud, I can turn it down. If not. But let's do a few small introductions, or not introductions, because there's no one to introduce except me. A few announcements, because you know we always got to do that. So, hello, if you are new tonight, if you're just joining, I am Bardic Dice. As you can see, a little new rebranding, a little new logos, whatnot. We're trying some stuff out, but normally we stream Wednesdays and Thursdays. Unfortunately, we did wrap up our Feywild, the Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign last week. So tonight we're going to start off our Bardic Brews, which will be a stream every week where we can just chit chat, we can talk, and I'll be working on maps, I'll be working on world building, different stuff like that, and I can just interact with you, whatever you want to see happen. And it'll all be over a nice cup of coffee. That being said, don't worry. We have some fun announcements and some fun new projects in the pipeline for Wednesdays. Being of which, one that you'll find out tonight if you stick with us at, let's see, I even have a schedule for this tonight. So, at 10 p.m., that's in 2.5 hours, we'll reveal the trailer for our next project on this channel alone. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And if you stick with us at 10:30, right before we end our stream, we'll also be doing a giveaway for Mordecai's Monsters of the Multiverse digital copy. Sorry guys, D&D Beyond. But that way you can have it for your own perusing, for your own D&D Beyond account, things like that. So you definitely want to check that out and join in chat then. So it's going to be fun. And maybe what we can do too, Yona, because I know a lot of you guys go to bed early. Why don't we just do the giveaway join-ins now? That way you don't necessarily have to be here in chat. So yeah, give me a second there and I'll get that going. There's not Stream Elements that I do. Man, it's been a while since we've done this one. Nightbot, there we go. See, this is just chatting. It's just laid back. You know, it's what we do. But that is Wednesdays. On Thursdays, we do Fates United, my homebrew campaign that is still ongoing. So that is also 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for now, be Wednesdays and Thursdays. We'll do this for a couple weeks before our next little project. You'll see what that's going on. And then during that project, I'll announce the next project because we got a lot of exciting stuff going on. So definitely check it out. Oh yeah, don't you know? If you haven't followed our channel, give maybe you just want to give a little click down there and give us a follow. If not, follow our socials. You'll be updated for all of our giveaways, all of our brand new projects, and just a super cool art that I like to do and post up. And as you can see below, right in this area, we have other streams during the week that are super fun that I'm a part of and that we promote here on this channel. So we have our sister channel, Marquee Gaming. They're super amazing. Definitely check them out. And we share a Discord with them. So you definitely want to go check out the Discord. That's where we hang out when we're offline. You get to see all the amazing streams that go on during the week. They're just absolutely insane. We have art, we have metalworking, we have poetry, we have writing, we have D&D streams. It's amazing. And it's seriously, you guys, all of you have made this amazing out of the support and the community that we've built, that we get to just sit here and enjoy some coffee together. It's super amazing. That being said, that's where the Discord is. We have Beacon's Aura on Sundays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the Marquee Gaming crew. So that's Rachel, Mark, me, and Kelly. And then Rachie, who's the wife and husband. Oh, you guys know Marquee Gaming. But anyways, husband and wife duo. Mark DMs on Sundays and Rachel does art stream on Mondays. This is where our whole community just comes out and hangs out, watches her do art, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll be joining up with our Wednesdays here. So, and then also we play in Literary DM's a Zelda-inspired game on Tuesdays. So we got a lot going on. You definitely don't want to miss it. So it's super fun. That being said, let me get this little giveaway thing going. I make sure I can... Wait, how are people already enrolled in it? I'm super confused. They're not active users. What keyword? Yeah. Alright. I always get this wrong. I always get this wrong. Eligibility mods are eligible. Regular subscribers, users. Subscribers get no extra luck for this one. Alright, so it will be keyword monster. Let's see if this works. Let's try this. I don't know if I have to roll it first or not, but yeah, you do the exclamation point monster to join in for our giveaway tonight. That way, if you're not here, you'll still be there later. I think it's working. It looks like it's working. Cool. You guys are joining the list. Awesome. And then we'll roll that later to see who is our amazing winner later tonight. So, that being said, how are you all doing? How is everybody doing tonight? Those are all our announcements. We have more amazing stuff coming in the projects. Trust me, I am so excited. You do not want to miss it. I will post any trailer announcements, any posts, any news in the Discord and on Twitter as soon as we do it tonight. But I'm super, super excited about what we have in store coming up here soon, and just stuff we have in the future for the channel. So really, you guys have made it possible, and that's why I wanted to give back with the giveaway. Wanted to give back and just hang out and do some of these streams, take a break from I love Feywild and super fun, and we'll talk about that tonight. Different things that we liked about the campaign, different things we didn't, and what we'll do is I'm just gonna sit here and chat with you guys for about an hour, and then for the second hour we'll bring in one half of our crew to go ahead and chat about their characters, their design, things like that, and then on the second half we'll bring in the other half of our crew. That way it doesn't get too chaotic and we can all just hang out and just chat. So how is everybody doing today? Hello, hello, and make sure to put in exclamation mark, whatever, monster. You mean what I know. Actually, maybe I could put on Canva. I'll do it during a break. I'll put a little notification during break, that way you guys can see it. But let's say hello to everybody. I missed you guys. We have Silent. Thank you so much for restreaming, dude. Oh, I miss you. Salt Ash, how you doing? We got Yonch and Yona and King Yona. How you doing? You've been so up and late. Appreciate it. Amara, Bardic Dice, how you doing? I like your name. What's up? BITV Priva. We got all the players in chat tonight. Lost, how are you doing, buddy? I miss ya. It's so good to see all you guys. Gaelic, thank you guys so much for dropping through. It's so good. Drago, hello, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. I have a cappuccino, but it's getting cold. Yeah, mine's not as warm as it was about 15 minutes ago, but you know, it's still pretty good. I can't drink coffee hot. I'm really lame like that. So I like cold coffee, but this is like coolish coffee, you know, cool whip. Let's see, we got Angie, what's up, girl? Welcome, welcome. Spoopy, how you doing? Hopefully your week is going well. Congratulations on everything as well. Let's see, we got Good Deeds. What's up, buddy? Lurking in the chat. Always, there's a Good Deeds behind every Amara. Bardic, have you heard of a tiefling centaur? I haven't, actually. I think I saw, what is it? Jenny D do something about that, but that was pretty cool. I missed our Feywild gang already. I know. It'll be fun to like chat about it tonight. Go over everything. Kind of just unwind from it all. Specifically kind of like how I ran it, why I decided to run it the way I did, and kind of things I'd change in the future. And things I wanted to chat about. So, B-Town, what's up, buddy? Welcome back. How you doing? Yeah, TV, I like the dances. We all dancing tonight. I know, everybody. It's so much fun. I love seeing everybody here tonight. Get some iced coffee. Yeah. I'm actually gonna make some coffee now. I'm like so behind. This is crazy. Ash, I burned my tongue even if my coffee is moderately hot. Same. 100% same. Yeah, let me bring music down just a little bit. Just so I don't have to yell over it. But, good deeds. Nah, give it to me, Skelding. My tongue is leather at this point. Ugh, crazy, dude. Chaotic, and I love it. Steve, what's up? Let's go. What is good? It's so good to see you. How is the baby doing? How are you doing? What is up? Oh my goodness, Steve, come on now. Come on now. You don't need to be doing that. Steak, thank you so much for the resubscribe. Buddy, go buy the baby a gift from Bardic. You don't need to be doing anything like that. Like how I have my alerts right in the middle. Let's move that down a little bit. I guess we can put it over here for now. Now we'll put it down in the middle. It's a good place for it. Thank you so much. You guys do not have to be doing that. We're all just hanging out. You do not need to sub or anything like that. Steak 1 to 16. I know. 16 months. Like, that's insane, guys. It's insane that we're going on, like, what, a year and a half, 2 years of all this? Like, what the heck? I mean, it's just insane. Also, another thing, hashtag mature audiences, still applicable tonight. We're not going to be as probably bad as normal, but just to be on the safe side, especially when we get all of our crew in, make sure we don't have you up on the church wall or anything like that. So, Swoopy, y'all have convinced me to join the coffee gang. One of us. One of us. Yeah. I like my coffee crisp. Ooh, it's a Canadian chocolate bar. That was their catchphrase. Well, I want Canadian chocolate bars. I'm a fatso. I want some. Ah, so good. Steve, you are crazy, dude. Crazy. Coming in hot. Wild. A B-Town, thank you so much for the sub, buddy. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Hype train, this is crazy. I mean, seriously. Coffee and hype train. Y'all got me like wired right now. Coffee's worth the addiction. I will have to say it is. You know, my parents actually drank a pot of coffee in the morning, probably at work, when they got home, mid-time when they're watching a show, and then literally would make a pot before they went to bed. They would drink coffee right before they went to bed. It was insane. So I feel like it's just in my blood. Probably why I have ADHD. Who knows? Steve, take that. Okay, I will. Oh, Drago, thank you so much. Here's some bits to take care of the coffee needs. Oh, thank you so much, buddy. It's so nice of you. But yeah, I'm not nearly as foul-mouthed as Colin. But still, hashtag mature audiences. There we go. I was waiting for someone to redeem that. You know, that's the other thing I want to promote here on Bardic Brews. I need some ideas for some new channel point redemptions. So you keep those in mind. I want to do some ones that are like still applicable during D&D, since that's like kind of what we focus here on the channel. So things that aren't disruptive to the story, but things that I could still work on. Like glasses is okay. I can usually get away with that, except during like really, especially combat. I cannot take my glasses off during combat. Or I'm like, yeah, the heck? I don't know, fuck it. She's got an 18 AC. Sorry. Not sure about that one there. Oh my goodness. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy up in here. Amar, we're the same person. Yeah. What is happening? My stream chat is just like exploding with confetti right now. Thank you guys so much. It's super sweet of you guys. You guys are wild, crazy. Steve, hey Bardic, you are glorious human and deserve support. I'm gonna make me cry tonight. Stop it. Love you, bud. Gotta lurk. Proud to be your buddy. Steve, thank you so much for the lurk. Thank you just so much for the support. I love having you just stop it. Even the let's go gets me hyped up every time. I love each and every single one of you. I've gotten a chance to meet some of you in person, all of you online, everyone else in the Discord. I seriously love every single one of you, and I enjoy and just love the fact that we can stream here and chill together and have a fun, positive time. I mean, the world sucks sometimes, and you guys make my life so much better. So much better. You guys know how difficult the past year has been, but we got through it. The new year, we're freaking already halfway through, apparently. You know, and so we're still grinding through together, and we get to tell stories together over a virtual table and a virtual cup of coffee. I think it's super fun, and thank you guys so much for making all this possible. I really want to continue this in some form or fashion. So I'm still working the nagging there, and I'm trying to figure out how it's gonna happen. What the freak, y'all gonna make me lose it. Sassy, thank you so much. We gotta hydrate. Thank you, Angie. Sassy, thank you so much for the sub. Give some buddy. Man, I'm so far behind. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, do the posture check, because I'm in a chair down by the river. See, I don't know. That's my favorite one. I don't know if you guys like that or not. I don't know. Brittany. B. Hello, B. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Hopefully everything is going good for you. So good to see you in the chat. Bard and friends. Secret mimic point redeem. Ooh, that could be fun. See, it's something that we can do interactively, but maybe not something that will like steer the game away either too much. Maybe advantage, disadvantage, or plus or minus 5 on a roll. Possibly. We did think about that at one point, and that was a little steep in the beginning. But yeah, that's something I've definitely been thinking for maybe a next campaign, depending on kind of how the world reacts. Kind of Final Fantasy version or level or something like that. So yeah, definitely something. But I want something maybe that doesn't affect the story as much. Something we can have fun and chat with, and other stuff we could do outside of D&D streams as well. But you know, but yeah, thank you guys so much. Good deeds. Oh, you're crazy. Thank you so much for the subs, buddy. You did not have to do that. King Yono with the hype. B isn't great, but not public talkable stuff. Oh, B, well, I'm so sorry. Virtual hug. Sending all the condolences and the support here. Hopefully you can just unwind with us and have a little reprieve from everything that's going on. But we're super happy to have you here. Super happy to see your face in chat. I always like seeing it. Angie, all the subs for the best DM ever. Oh, appreciate it, guys. You guys really do not need to be doing that, but thank you so much. That's super sweet of you. We're just doing this. This is me wanting to give back to you guys. So I appreciate it, but I want to be giving back to you. That's why we have the giveaway. We got the announcement trailers. We'll be chit-chatting. Steve, also make an artificer NPC who throws potions into combat. Oh, that'd be interesting. We're doing Bardic Brew themes. Redeem points to toss alchemist potions at baddies' heads or heal the good guys. Just ideas. That's interesting. That actually could be pretty interesting. Or like little stuff like that. See, it's just kind of hard because then you have to like figure out an in-game reason. Because I'm really big on having my players feel invested in the story. Like their choices are like, I wouldn't say realistic because it's fantasy, but have a reason for it. And of course, like I love doing like the raid stuff and having, you know, things like that. But that could be one. That could be pretty interesting. Almost like chaos magic almost, or maybe like their potions duplicate or a potion turns bad. I don't know, that'd be interesting. Spoopy, okay, I'm back with me coffee. Yeah, what kind of coffee did you get? Mine is a caramel cappuccino K-Cup from the wonderful store of Le Counter. So yeah, I have a coffee machine on my counter. Beat down, good to see you, Bardic. It's been a while, too long. I know, buddy. I miss you, man. I just been so busy with work. I haven't had a chance to kind of go do the rounds and check out other streams. I really want to. But I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, I kind of went back to my old job, so I've been driving again. And I could be doing it for some long hours and crazy hours. So it's kind of hard for me to sit back and really do the same things that I used to do. So I really appreciate and value the time that I do get to see everyone that drops in and all the other streams that I get a chance to drop in. Usually it's during the night, not during the morning, unfortunately, because I'm sleeping. But, you know, right now I'm working like 50, 60 hours a week. And so, yeah, I miss a lot of you guys. But, who knows? Maybe we'll see some, you know, new people on the channel. We'll get to chit-chat with them. We'll see. But that's not for now. That's a little teaser. Doing the Matt Foley bit, my fave. Heck yeah! I live in a van down by the river. I do that every time because like my pants slide sometimes, so I gotta like pull up my pants all the time. So I do the whole like, yeah, pull up the pants. I've seen some channels put really high channel points redeems for give a player advantage for roll and roll. I do like that though. I mean, I actually do because I don't think that's really broken, you know? Maybe, yeah, like you said, maybe at a higher point level. Because I know people with like 100,000. We got a lot of people with a lot of points right now. So, point redemption for bardic knowledge. We pay, you share some world bonus, world lore, optionally sing it to us. You know, I did have the sing one on there. I felt like singing got awkward for a little bit because I was like, sing for a minute. And I was like, I am going to sing for a minute. Hello, steak well done, how you doing? And I was like, that gets a little annoying and I don't know if people like it or don't like it. I don't know, but yeah, I'm sorry, I'm looking hard. I have a course defining math results. No, do not be sorry for lurking. I appreciate all the lurks. Thank you so much. Oh, the creepy people just watching from afar, you know, just being like, I'm gonna lurk, but I'll see you. Oh, I love it so much. But yeah, good luck in your course tomorrow. Seriously, let us know how you do. I want to see you in the general chat tomorrow when I wake up. I don't want to drink coffee right now, but I don't afternoon. That's very smart. Very, very smart. I'm going to totally regret drinking this coffee so late, but I'm doing it for the stream. I'm doing it for you. I'm hoping, here's a little transparency here. I am hoping that once we get into our new stream, that there'll be a morning I can carve out of my schedule to make Bardic Brews, maybe like a Saturday morning thing. So we'll see. It's not official. I don't want to put it out there quite yet. But that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Possibly Sunday mornings, but I don't want to overdo like beacons and everything else. So Saturday morning is kind of been thinking. Kind of Lit used to do it, and that's where I got the idea from. Lit used to sit down with a cup of coffee for an hour and chit chat. So thanks to him, I was kind of thinking about that idea and just doing Bardic Brews and having that time to do maps and chat with you guys and things like that before I go into work, because I typically work Saturdays all day now. So Drago, cool. I'm a mixture of coffee and tea person. Yeah, I really wish I liked tea. I really do. I know so many people that like tea, and I just don't. Tweak on the potion idea, add a D4 to the next spell effect or consumable. That's pretty cool. I actually like that one. That'd be a really cool point redemption. Because I like this idea. And we can talk about this in a future world building. I want to have like in a future game crystals kind of be like the core of things, and so having you guys power up these crystals that they have, and it can have different effects for different players based on how they use it, I think it'd be really cool, and not having it be tied necessarily to paid items like subs and cheers, though I would like to reward those in the same amount. So I was kind of thinking doing something like that where they'd have like bonuses or minuses, and the minuses to me based on like point redemptions that we can keep track of, and then things like subs, like I don't know, every 5 subs or whatever, we could have like an overdrive meter get filled, and like kind of like Final Fantasy, and when it fills, a player or the group can decide to activate like a special action or a special feature that they have, like an ultimate attack, or you know, something like that. That's kind of what I was playing around with, so we'll see, you know. But yeah, Spoopy, I remember you talking about that last time. Brown sugared oatmeal latte. That sounds so delicious. And I think you were the one that made the lavender syrup, right? Like, so good. Oh, wow, I'm really far behind if Le Counter just came up. Le Counter. Sounds so fancy. Of course it does. Alright, let me see if I can catch up. Coffee obtained. Now to get my coffee from the Le Counter. By the way, I'm bringing back the Sunday morning Skyrim streams. Oh, you are sick, B-Town. Yeah, definitely. Sundays are tough for me because I work so late Saturday nights till like 1, 2 a.m. that I'm usually sleeping in Sunday mornings. But It'd be a super great time to chill and hang out. Dude, that'd be awesome. And make sure to post in our Discord when you go live. I know I have a hard time catching all the other Discords. I'm in like 20 Discords. So when people post in ours, a lot easier for me to like click on it. I know mornings and Saturdays Stardew Valley is the best to chill with in the morning. I know, it's super fun. Maybe if you do it maybe 7 to 7:30 a.m. Woof, Drago, that is early, my man. That's super early. I'm thinking more like 10 a.m. Let me sleep in a little bit. Yeah, maybe, we'll see. I loved hanging with Lip before our Star Wars games. Yeah, that was super fun. It was a good time sitting and talking world building, but streaming in the morning after staying up till like 2 a.m. after a night of DMing was a lot. Exactly, Lit. Yeah, and that's kind of my concern too, because I work Friday nights pretty late typically. So yeah, mine would probably be like a 10 to 12, 11 to 1-ish, maybe. But it also depends on work. A lot of times they call me in at 11, so I might have to sacrifice a few hours for work to do the stream. And I never like asking for money from you guys, and so I need to make sure I can account for that in my budget, things like that. So, and also guys, I need a shave. My beard's getting a little unruly. The mustache, you know, I got to do the mustache game right now. You know, now I can do the little twists. Yeah, I need a little beard wax. Oh, look like a lionette or something. Yeah, I'll probably get a haircut tomorrow. I should have done it today, but I'm gonna do it. Sleep is key. Yes. Who here? I want to have fun with this. It's been a while since I've been able to do this. We're gonna start a poll. Who has sleep debt? Because I do. Nah, fam. I get 8 hours a night. That's one. I sleep okay. Yeah, bro. 2 hours or die. And what is sleep? I don't know. I've never done a poll before. So yeah, who has sleep debt? I have sleep debt. I want to see your answers. Morning's a key early. Cannot sleep, my meds aren't being prescribed properly. I can't sleep till 2 a.m. anyways. That's rough. See, that's why I'm so scared about getting back on meds again. I probably need them for ADHD and probably depression too, to be honest. But I'm so worried about getting back on them. They messed mine up a long time ago, and it was such a bad episode that I'm just like, really don't want to go through the process of trying to get them right again. I had a honey rose vanilla latte once. Oh my goodness, that sounds so good. Right, Spoopy? I need. Steve, if the party ends up having a passive income generator, party-owned tavern shop or service, we make some cash while they adventure. We could possibly impact sales. Redeem our points to give them income. Oh, that's cool. Huh. Steve, you're quite the businessman. That's actually a really cool idea. I actually really, really like that. Huh. That's actually really cool. That'd be neat. Yeah, I pay TV. Morning equals 10 a.m. Yeah, that's my morning. Goodies, that's an idea I like a lot. Yeah, seriously. No, I really like that. Bro, I have lunch at 10. Look, I'm not an early person, okay? I'm a late night owl. 2 to 5 a.m. is my normal going to bed time. 7 a.m. does not exist for me. Though I did start work today at 7. That was rough. I was a little tired. If it's my weekend off, I don't even want to wake up till 10. Exactly. Dang it, Sassy! I gotta read chat, my man. All right, thanks, PTV. Hydrate. Yeah, we're hydrating with a caffeine energy drink and a coffee mug. Let's go. Tomorrow all night we just spam lose the glasses, apparently. Shiv, what up? Thanks for joining in. How are you doing? I hope you like the sassy memes. Those were so much fun to make last night. If you hadn't seen in our Discord. Oh, by the way, Fates and Faye, if you want to be posting in the Discord, I should be paying attention to them, but I'm not. So, let's see here. You can actually be posting in the Fates and Faye. I know there's not a lot to react to, but you can try and make me laugh, so that's kind of fun. You know, my favorite, or like, you know, we can put our favorite gifs in there. This is always my favorite every time. Every single time, Sassy would get all... Sassy has the best gifts ever. This is a little behind the scenes. Sassy would always send D that kicking the baby gif and make her laugh and lose it during like serious scenes all the time. So I just watch half my crew start laughing during emotional scenes, and I'm like, great, thanks guys, thanks. Get to sleep by 10:30, 11. Wants to feed the babe around 1:32. Up for work by 6. Wow, dude. That's impressive. Occasionally get a solid nap in, like once or twice a week. Hey, I mean, those naps help, like severely. They help so much. Yeah, me and sleep have a poor relationship due to the insomnia. Yeah, I feel that. I feel it a lot. Lexapro, bro, check it out. Okay, you know, I've actually had someone tell me about Lexapro. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I'm gonna roll that down. Hey, Blue Fire, what's up, my friend? How you doing? By the way, for all those who have joined in late, we are doing a giveaway tonight for Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse digital copy giveaway. So we'll be doing that at the end of the session, but I know a lot of people are going to bed because they're at different time zones. So exclamation mark monster in the chat to make sure you get in on the giveaway. We have quite a few people in already, so it's crazy. It's pretty cool. Actually, wait, Mark ineligible. Mark eligible. Why are people not eligible? There we go. Let me make sure everyone is eligible. I guess I can do that later. Yeah, cool. I want to make sure everybody has a chance to get it. Maybe HTC supplements. Yeah, I have heard about that too. I got to be careful with driving. Oh, I know HTC is fine with that, but some of the jobs I'm also applying for have drug tests, so you got to be careful what they allow and what they don't. But yeah. Did you see my Dragon Force dump on the music channel on the server? I did, Blue. That was super cool. Yeah, I'm so glad you got a chance to meet them. I haven't had a chance to like listen through any of their stuff, but that's super cool. You got to be VIP. I hope you had a fun time. This is really cool. Oh, so okay. Hey, I sleep okay by 33%. I'm actually impressed that Sleep Club has actually got a positive note going. So that's good to hear, everybody. That's hype that up. That most people sleep okay. What is sleep by 4 of us? Nah, fam, I get 8 hours. That's still pretty impressive. Tied with Yebber 2 hours to die. Okay, we're like kind of all over the place, but I'm super happy that most people are getting their sleep. So yeah, that's good to hear. Also, I still can't see. My average sleep, according to my Apple Health, for the last 6 months is 4.5 hours. Yeah, I'd say mine is around that. Right about 2 to 5 is your drawing hours. I get that, Amora. I get that a lot. I do a lot of this kind of stuff late at night. So like my overlay, trailers, stuff like that, maps. John is second shift. That's me too. We're up to 1 a.m. but try and stay consistent. Sleep wake for hell's sake. I can't sleep without a routine. Yeah, that's really tough. Like, especially if you don't keep that and keep on changing it. And that's how it is for me in work. So all throughout the weekend, I work late at night. But then on my stream days, because they're still trying to give me hours, but I have to be off by like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I have to work super early. So I work like super early to super late. So that's why you see these really ugly sleepy baggies on the bars. Gifts are the best. I love our gift wars. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I love you. Oh, what is happening in gifts right now? Terrifying, Amara. No. I'm not even looking anymore. You know, I'm here at the opposite problem with sleep. Sleep far too much. You can't get up without a lot of effort. Oof, that's rough. But I mean, it's better than not getting any at all, right? Shiv, wait, what's the giveaway word? Exclamation mark monster. M-O-N-S-T-E-R. So exclamation mark beforehand. I'll put it up during, we're gonna take a break here in about 30 minutes. And then have our first 3 members come in. We'll do some question answers, listen to about their character creation, things like that. So I'll be Angie and Lit will be first, maybe Silent as well if he's not busy, if he wants to join. and coming in and out the 3, and then during the second half will be I keep on going between character and real names. D, Brittany, and Nick. Phew. Sorry. Will be for the second half while we're ending the stream. My friend had the same problem. Turns out she had narcolepsy. Oh, that's so rough. HC is natural, shouldn't be a problem, but it's always good to ask before. Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say I don't know anything about HTC or like what's natural, what's not with it. I've heard like different stuff here locally, so. But yeah, I have heard a lot of people say that it works for them. I can't even see with my glasses. What's the link for the giveaway? Yeah, so make sure if you want to do !monster for the giveaway in the chat. Chef, I was lied to. Oh, I love it. Cringe! Well, hello there. Hello, my friend. How are you doing today? A monster, yeah, awesome. Hey, I think I've caught up, pretty much. I skipped over a few things, but 9:30 Bay equals B. They really are awesome. Okay. Whew. Yeah, I know you guys are gonna make me lose the glasses all night long, so I love it. But we'll see how it goes. What is happening in the gifts tonight? Terrifying. What have I started? Everyone else in the Discord is be like, what the fuck? Oh, but thank you guys so much. Yeah, I hate the gifts so much. I do too. They're awful. Cringe, doing quite well, man. Working on the next session for Friday. Gonna give the party some fun gifts as well as existential dread. Gonna be great. Yes. The DM giveth and taketh away. That's fun. I love it. I've done nothing. I'm innocent. Hated or loved? You're just so handsome without them, buddy. I want to see my skinny bun. Ow. Go babes. Alright, fine. Lurking around with you. Thanks, Distal's Place. Thank you so much. How are you doing? It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for the lurk and the hydrate. We were just chilling, chatting over some coffee and brews. So, that being said, we got about 20 minutes before our first break. So we went with the Wild Beyond the Wighlight, a Feywild campaign, and surprisingly enough, for all of you guys that don't know, this was completely done on the fly as just like, we'll do a short campaign till the end of the year. Like I was planning on doing this, we started this in like October, November. I was like, they'll get through it super quick. We'll finish by the end of the year. And here we are in April, May. What Angie is happening in that gift thing? All right, terrifying. This should be another point redemption, is making me look at the gifts, because that is awful, terrifying. Doing good, coming in to hang and support. Thank you so much, Distal. I really appreciate it. That's so nice of you. Cringe. Oh, I want coffee. Yeah, go get yourself some coffee. Enjoy. We're just reacting, just chat tonight, and talking a little bit about our thoughts on the Feywild campaign, how it came together, how different characters were done. If you guys have any questions for either me for DMing the game, or for our characters when they come in, we'll just be having a fun chat one. And at the end of the stream, we'll be posting our new trailer video for our next project coming up here on the Bardic Dice channel. So I'm super excited. Definitely want to stick around and watch that. I want to do it like now and just get the hype going, but I've waited this long. We'll wait a little bit longer. So everything worth waiting for is good. I posted that Dragon Force dump on the music channel because Rachel's drawn up a character for Skyrim inspired campaign. Nice. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to catch her stream earlier, which I was really sad about. I was driving also while some drama was happening in my narrative campaign, so that was happening as well. October, I actually just screamed. Wait, what? Like, no joke, that triggered a flight response. Wait, what did? The fact that it's May or that? Oh, the gifts. Okay. Terrifying. I've never really DM'd a module before. How do you like it? That's a great question. So I've always started with modules, but I always like homebrew it. Like I always just like improvise, make up stuff on my own. Modules for me, and I think I agree with a lot of people, like it's kind of meant for, I think, just people that want to follow a more, you know, straight narrative and don't either have the time or the desired effort to homebrew something. So I really enjoyed the Feywild. This one was actually super fun. Anyone that knows me knows that I love to do voices, so getting a chance to do the Joker voice for Mr. Witch and Mr. Light was super fun. The Feywild is a fun place to do, and this carnival that starts the Wild Beyond the Witchlight is super neat. So no spoilers for anyone that doesn't, you know, isn't really, you know the story or like still playing it, but basically you start with a carnival, and then you go into this domain of the Feywild and find out that there's some enemies that have taken over it. And our characters, for whatever reason, that you either start with, either that they have a lost item that these enemies have, or there's a warlock that's the patron of the person that used to be in charge of this domain, that's asking you guys to go in and help. Which I really like the lost items one. It created a really cool hook, really cool adventure for the party to do. And so I think my problem with it is that because we did it so on the fly and last minute, and Brittany's right, I was perfect for doing this one. I really enjoyed it. I love the chaos and the colorfulness of it and the wildness of this game. My problem was I didn't really get a chance to read ahead like I'm doing for like future projects and future streams. Getting a chance to sit here and think about the story, think about where I want to go with it. Even if it's a module, reading through and be like, how is this going to play out? Where else do I want to go with this? For example, and we'll talk about this in our next one, our first two character deaths were non-combat deaths, and I was not expecting that. So there are a few things that I think I would have tweaked. Not much in the carnival scene. I think that was actually really fun and really good. Maybe a little bit more RP moments from NPCs that would set up stuff later. And then if I had read through the chapters better, because they weave together really well and kind of are supposed to set up stuff later on, I think I would have been able to set up a better narrative and a more threat to our group. Our group kind of leveled up and defeated things, which they could. I mean, that was part of the story. I think the story is intended for role play and a chance for you to negotiate out of stuff. You can literally go with this whole thing almost with no combat. But that's not fun. That's leaving out half of D&D. So I wish I had been able to add in more backstory things and more threatening combat. I think early on the combat was very threatening and very good, but like afterwards I feel like the players kind of got this idea of, and rightfully so, that, you know, they can have fun and beat up on stuff. But it would have been nice to give a little bit more threat, which, you know, in future things, I definitely plan on giving them more of a threat. So I super enjoyed it. I wish I had more time to have read through it properly and maybe change stuff. But I also decided to run this purely by the book as kind of a review for people to see the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, exactly how it's written. How good is it, or what needs to be tweaked? So hopefully if you guys watch the streams, and that was another surprise, was that all of you guys came out and support me on Wednesdays, which was just insane to me that Wednesdays became even more popular in some ways than Thursdays at times. So that blew my mind, and I was like, no one's gonna watch this. This is whatever. This is gonna just be chaos. You guys love chaos, so you're a little masochistic. No. I don't even know how to say that word. Massachusetts? Massachusetts? I don't know, you're wicked crazy. Brittany's gonna hate me for that one. That's exactly why I don't use them. I love writing, coming up with my own garbage for my own world. Voices are dope as well. I've been working on my range of weird voices. Yeah, it's super fun. I like doing voices mainly, I just love doing them, but also to differentiate in a scene if there's multiple NPCs, to help the players like understand who's talking, right? If there's this big speech and Mr. Light sounds like this and Mr. Witch sounds like this, it's very easy in their minds to be like, oh, these are two different people. But if I'm sitting here talking like this and the other one's sitting here talking like this, it's a little harder to differentiate. So yeah, voices I think are fun. They're not needed. You do not need them in your own campaign, but just make sure you make it aware who's talking for your players. So yeah, The deaths, I know no one was expecting those deaths. Were definitely something that surprised things, but also kind of made this game have a little bit more gravitas to it and emotion, which I thought was kind of cool. So yeah, I had to balance fun and balance like DMing a real story and like what would I actually do in response to things a little bit. But I think these games are a little bit more of like the rule of cool and just having fun. But I do like having my players be invested in what they're playing and things like that on a week-to-week basis. So I do feel like this module at times, as written, kind of slowly took that investment out from players and brought it back in at different points, which I think is normal for module. So I think it's super cool if people have the ability to homebrew stuff, but it's a great base. I think this is an absolute fun base to put in any game. I mean, you could start this at any level. You could bring in your players into this and level them up quicker, slower, and have this be part of your own campaign as part of a little arc. I think it's super cool. So the roller coaster is threatening of all second to autumn. Very much so, for sure. And I did love the ending. The ending was so much fun. We'll talk about that in a bit. We'll forever miss Phelan and his backwards wings. Always. Masochistic. Yeah, I can't ever say that word. I'm just I don't. Thank you, Mara, for reminding me. You know, we'll get your points out of you guys eventually. I got you. Y'all Phelan, I know. And at least Phelan and Azrael had a nice ending though. You could say they didn't see it coming as their last surprise, right? Pretty much. Phelan was a ton of fun. Yeah, Phelan was super fun in the beginning. He surprised me with how just like lucky go, you know, how happy-go-lucky he was. It was super fun. I got 91k over here, bud. Your time is coming. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, for sure. So like some of these like giving players bonuses are definitely gonna have to be some like higher end points just to get points away from you guys, because I know I haven't had points to use for a while. You guys are like, all right, what's the point? So but yeah, so that's kind of where that is. I'm super excited though to see what other people can do. So there's a lot of like resources online, and there's a lot of people that have played it, because it seems that we're pretty right on par with the timing with everyone else. So anyone that started when it first came out in October has ended right about this time with about 24 to 25 sessions. Dork Tales has done a really, really good job of going over what different ways to play it. He's put in his backstory a lot more, which I think is the right way to go about it. And the players seem like they're having a lot of fun. I'm sure there's a lot of other YouTubers as well that kind of give tips and tricks on what they've done. There's a lot of Reddit resources too, which I really like, of like encounter tables and enemy tables, things that they've added to give it a little more thread or backstory connections, which I thought was really, really, really cool. Grinch, decide what color. No, both of you guys at the same time. See, I'm gonna have to figure this out because I got a new phone. My lights have literally not changed since I got a new. Actually, my old phone's in the front room. Now that I think about it, I don't know if I can change. I think I can. No, that's the hue. I don't think I've set up my lights yet to change. All right. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. So maybe I can try and do it over break. Just remind me when we go on break in about 10 minutes to change it for you. Thank you, Good Deeds. I appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, I will change them. He has Govee light bars. Why not both? Yeah, I'll change both of them for sure. So yeah, so right now you can see I got blue and purple going on. So yeah, we'll definitely switch those up here shortly. Yeah, I got some more lights over Black Friday, I think it was. It was a while ago. So yeah, we'll do some fun stuff. Good Deeds, I support the cause. Chaos incarnate. Thanks. I appreciate that. I feel at this point, I might as well keep them off, but then I also get 5,000 points from people every single time. So it's super fun. But yeah, so it was super fun. I actually really like the module. It's interesting though, because the enemies, when they confront them, they're supposed to kind of get away and then confront them later all together. And I didn't really feel like, I mean, I know that's kind of what happened, but I did nerf them because I wanted to reward them defeating the hags and the enemies that got done when they did. But yeah. And then the other thing too, I think some of the balances on some of their home turfs of the enemies, like Loomlurch, like Bavlorna's place was like really easy peasy, right? And it's fine, it's the first one. Loomlurch was like a death trap. Like, you guys had extra people, and because you guys kind of triggered everything all at once, but were also separated, you guys could have easily died if you hadn't been careful. So that was a cool threat to have. It was hard to balance, just because I think a lot of stuff was going on at the same time. And then right at the end, I do think we probably pushed through Motherlorn, which is the third hag place, enemy place, probably a little quick. You guys didn't have to do a play, which is fine. That's also an optional thing you do. You guys also kind of you didn't discover all of the rooms of the palace, which is fine. Again, you didn't have to, though. Like, you didn't have any reason necessarily to have to do that. So I think it's cool. I think it gave you guys opportunity to do more if you wanted to. But if I had done this from scratch and did this again, I think I'd have the times, some of those random encounters, like before you get to like the hags places, filled with a little bit more backstory tie-ins and encounters that would give you guys a little bit more like, oh snap, we got to be careful because our backstory, whatever person is that threat, or, you know, we have to go do this and do this little sidebar because this is important to my character. So yeah, it's super fun. They're super fun. And yeah, Sass, and the lore at the end I thought was really cool. That was my favorite part, was all the connecting stuff that it did for what it tried to tie together for all the different lore, especially if you've played all the other games and all the other books and stuff like that. Oh yeah, yeah, the Colossus voice, yeah. Gonna have such a headache later, guys. I probably will. Nah, the effort of putting them on and off, back off is part of the adaptation. It is. It's so much fun. Oh, yeah? Alright, there. Is the Colossus voice not on there anymore? I should probably turn some of those back on. I had those there for a while. Really miss Carlos in general. I know. I'll be so excited when you guys get to go, when the Fates babies go help Carlos. It's kind of been on the list for a while there. I would like it on record that Good Deeds is now known as Chaos Incarnate and not me. I mean, to be fair, yes. Amara, you are a bundle of wildfire, but Good Deeds is Agent of Chaos. Autumn was fine at Loomlurch, no worries. Okay, okay. Killing a unicorn! Poor guys. I feel like our group was more goal-oriented than some others might be. Oh, which I kind of liked. I did want this game to go through a little quicker than normal campaigns, and so I was happy at the pace. It still took longer to get through than I thought it was. I thought it was gonna be like 8 to 12 sessions. So you guys did go do other stuff, but it was cool. They did have a lot of stuff for off the path encounters. It's cool that there was something to discover if they went off path. Yeah. So it was nice. It didn't. And this is kind of something too. I want to hear from the players as we chat with them, if you guys felt from your perspective how linear this was, because it is kind of a linear story, kind of hidden with, you know, stuff around it to try and make it feel more full. So I thought it was a nice little balance, where it's not like specifically open sandbox per se. I mean, it kind of is. You guys could have done it in any order that you wanted to. But it's also kind of ran in a linear sense as well. So it kind of keeps everything on the rails. So, you know. So yeah, super fun. That being said, do you guys have any other questions for like DMing or how we set up the module or other things like that? Just kind of reminders. So if you haven't put in !monster for a chance to win a digital copy of Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse. I'm never gonna get that right. I already have it bought, and I have the redemption key. So as soon as we get that, I'll be able to get that to someone. So make sure you join in for a chance to win that. Creepy, what's up, dude? How you doing, buddy? Look at that, sneaking in there perfectly. Yeah, it's gonna be a super fun time, and I was gonna say something else. I forgot what I was gonna say. That's okay. But other things, whatever. I don't know. So yeah, it's super fun. We'll go ahead and take a break here in a few minutes. That's what I was just gonna give more announcements. That's all I was gonna do. Yeah. So we'll take a break here in a little bit and transition over. So for the next hour, we'll have a Literary and Angie join us, possibly Silent as well. To just speak about their characters, about their experience with it, and we'll still interact with you in the chat and just how everything's going. By the end of the night at 10 o'clock, we will do a reveal trailer for the next project and the next revelation to go on the streams, things that will be following the Feywild campaign. Super excited to put it on the books, to finally announce some stuff, and then we'll have our giveaway at 10:30 for the Morning Kind of book. So I'm super excited. You don't have to be in chat necessarily, but we have quite a few people already. I'm so excited. We have 23, 24 people already. Like, this is insane. It's a lot of people. That's a lot. But yeah, super excited. Will there be somewhere to watch the trailer tomorrow when I wake up? Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna put it in the Discord, and I'll post it in the probably Fates and Fae channel. That way you have access for it tomorrow, and I'll probably put something in the announcements giveaways as well, because a little spoiler for you, a little teaser for you for later. This is not going to be the only giveaway that I'm doing as well. I have a second giveaway, but wait, there's more. There'll be a second giveaway on a future stream as well, that will be announced later. So I'll go ahead and put both of those in there in the Discord tomorrow, and probably upload it to YouTube as well, and post that for people to watch if they want. Super excited about it. And the last thing I was gonna say as well, as part of Bardic Brews, I haven't officially put out anything yet, but I know I've talked about this before. I am going to be starting to do commission work. So if you guys like anything that you see here, graphic design wise, if you like logos, if you like little posts, if you like little frames or elements or overlays that you want for Twitch, that you want for social media, you know, we have those character sheets that you have if you want to create something for your characters that you want to have for yourself. I'm gonna have all of that available for commission work as well, so that I can freelance and do some supplemental work on the side, and because I just really love doing it, as you can see, because my graphics and overlay are constantly changing. So definitely, you know, just think about that. If anyone has any projects that they want, you can reach out to me at bardicdice@gmail.com, or if you know of someone that is looking for their own custom Twitch overlay, because I know for me, when I looked online, there's a lot of free stuff. Free stuff kind of sucks, in my opinion. It just doesn't fit D&D. It doesn't have that custom feel to it. It's not unique. There is paid stuff. That's like hundreds of dollars and a lot more. And even then, when you pay for like the $30 packages, they don't feel the same. So I really like doing that. And so if anyone's interested in doing that, I can't reveal that yet, but I have done a little bit of work for some people, kind of for free, just kind of practicing to get to see some of the things I've done maybe here in the future going on. But you know, little things like that, that if you want to create something or create an ad, you can do. So it's super fun. That being said, it is 8:30. I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break. I'm gonna go ahead and get set up with our players here. And so if you have any questions for our players, you have any continued questions on Feywild or modules or other campaigns or other ideas you want to chat about with TTRPGs, let me know. Put them in the chat. We'll be right back. And thank you guys so much. I love all of you for just hanging out, sipping some brew with me, and hanging out. I really love doing this. I miss doing this. So I do plan on having this element back in our stream schedule as much as I can. So. All right, get up, move around, get some popcorn, get some coffee, go have a potty break or something. Do what you need to do. I'll be right back.
Not much. Oh, I can do audio if that would be better.
I was like, I heard someone stream.
Bardic, I'm hot mic.
You
Hot
are.
mic.
Well, eventually we'll go back. New streams. Hello, everybody. As you can see, your boys got to recapture some stuff for funsies, because, you know, when things shift around, you gotta...
Yeah.
It's a party.
So yeah, we got our players in for this one.
Ooh.
I just saw it on stream. Yikes.
Yeah. Oh, well.
What happened?
No, I just saw what it looked like on stream.
Oh,
Yikes.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time. It's a party.
It's
Cool.
fine.
So yeah, so guys, why don't, as I'm doing this, why don't we go through and you guys can do
Oh boy.
little intros on who you are, as we do most weeks, and who you ended up playing in the game.
Sure.
So yeah, Angie, you want to go first?
I guess I'll go first because why
You're up there
not?
first.
I am up first. Go figure. Hi guys, I'm Angie, also known as Server Mom. I had the fortune of playing 2 characters in this campaign. The first one was my ranger Azrael, who was also Carnival Mom, and then everyone's favorite bard cleric. So that was a lot of fun. Switching between the character types.
Yeah.
You want to say anything about your stream?
Yeah, I also stream. I'm getting back into games. I'm kind of working on something in the background. And I am going to be putting together a Star Wars D&D one-shot for the celebration of Obi-Wan coming out on Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good time for that.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah. So I've been working on that. That's why I haven't been streaming lately. But that's going to be fun. I'm going to be getting that put together and getting some people interested and get that up. And yeah, we'll nerd out because Star Wars.
Sweet. Do you have a date for that one yet?
I do not as of yet. It would depend on the characters, or rather the players' schedules, but I'm hoping it would be an evening at some point.
Nice.
That way people can come and watch.
Sweet. That's super exciting. Perfect. And adding on down below, Lit, why don't you introduce yourself, what you do, and the characters you played for this campaign?
Yes, hello everybody. Fisk, aka Literary DM here. I make weekly D&D videos talking about tips, tricks, and stories on using literary theory and applying that to tabletop RPGs because I got to use my degree somewhere. And then I also stream weekly D&D Zelda campaign, Winds of Calamity, featuring Mike and Silent. Things are getting very interesting as they finally, after spending 7 sessions or so at sea, have finally made it back to shore and are now heading on their way to Kakariko Village. So you're not gonna want to miss that.
Was it really 7 sessions at sea?
You guys went at session 11 is when you guys left for sea. Like you spent a long time on the ocean. But anyway, as far as characters go, I also had the fortune of playing 2 characters. The first was Balin Alex. He was a Wadaganasi barbarian. And yes, I know it's technically pronounced Genasi. I pronounce it Ganassi because it's just like the way it sounds better, even though that's phonetically not correct. I don't care.
Also, that's probably how Phelan would have pronounced it anyways.
Yeah.
Probably.
Technically,
Yeah.
because technically, yes, I know GE is like French origin, which means it's a soft G. I just don't care. But anyway.
Also Phelan.
Yeah.
Balin.
And then the second one I played was Colin Moonfellow. He was a paladin, halfling paladin sorcerer of Saloon. And one was more happy-go-lucky and just did whatever the wind told him, and the other one was a little bit more feisty but had a heart of gold.
Perfect. And last, but definitely not least, one half of the Gutsling duo.
What a man.
Hello, my name is Silent Legend, as you guys already know that. Yeah. Stream schedule should be getting hopefully more consistent in the coming few weeks. I just went into a job interview today, so hopefully things go well. That being said, I may or may not be in Winds of Calamity continuing forward if that goes well. But you will see. If you see someone else in my spot, you know why.
Hey, there's a good reason to not be in a game then.
It is.
When you both want
so-
you to succeed, but selfishly not. Yeah.
Yeah, you want someone to succeed, but at the same time, you don't want them to. I get it. No, I get it. But like,
Yeah, exactly.
also, Nick, Autumn's possible boyfriend. Yeah, we'll see.
Ooh.
I mean,
You
got
know-
shot in the foot.
You know that question's coming up.
So?
Who knows? Hey, shot in the foot. He got shot somewhere.
But yeah, that mean. So yeah, I play Tyr. He is one half of the Gunslinger duo. And yeah, it was fun. Very fun to play again, considering I brought him from another campaign. So it's fun.
Also, work's calling, so I'll be right back. Why don't you guys talk amongst yourself?
So with that, I'm actually curious, Silent.
Yeah.
Where did you last play Tyr? Actually, I'm curious.
So Tyr actually was a character I made up for my friend's homebrew campaign. We called it Ragnarok, or he called it Ragnarok at least.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, original actually he looks different from how he does now actually. So he still had the darker skin, but instead of blonde and long hair, he was actually kind of similar to my hair now. So he very much had a different hairstyle, and he was a pirate. He was not exact. He wasn't a good guy as per se, at least not without his reasons for being bad.
So basically, Jack Sparrow is what you're saying. To continue apparently the Pirates of the Caribbean motif that's been going on all week.
I never stopped.
Why not?
I've watched all 5 this week. I so want to do a pirate campaign.
Not necessarily Jack Sparrow. I wouldn't say not necessarily Jack Sparrow, but more. Oh, actually, I don't know. I wouldn't say Jack Sparrow because Jack Sparrow was greedy in his own right.
Yeah.
But
Shabby, I don't think I'm greedy. I'm like to look out for one's own.
he had more revenge on his mind than a heart of gold.
That's fair, for sure.
That's fair.
So I would be down for a pirate campaign, but
I would absolutely jump on a pirate.
I don't know if
campaign.
I would have the
Hell
time for one right now.
We were on a pirate ship on Tuesday, and y'all left.
But
we're not
to
pirates.
Be fair,
Yeah.
we're not pirates.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
I mean,
We're
what
not pirates.
Scissory would want to become one, but
Oh, absolutely. But yeah. So I think. So did you want to did you have questions for us, Mike, or did we?
so yeah, I mean, that was kind of like, so my first question kind of was, as we were putting this together, obviously because it was so short notice, I was kind of choosing from the people that I played with previously, kind of had experience with and stuff like that, and also knew who had time, because this was not supposed to go through May and whatnot beforehand. But yeah, you guys all came through your characters super quick, but they all had like really, really cool just depth to them and backstories, and had really, really good stories and heart to them, and it kind of fit the motif of having lost something throughout their life. And so my question for you is a two-parter. One, and I think you guys did touch a little bit on it, but how did you come up with those character ideas in the first place? So whether you played them before or you brought them in, why do you feel like they were a good fit here at the carnival? And then also, second, when I did do your surprise of having you lose an item, how did that change how you were going to play the character? You guys can popcorn that one.
Well, I'd say for me, like, picking Azrael as a ranger, like, ranger's my favorite class. So that was like really easy for me to go, okay, it's something I know, it's something I'm familiar with, I'll be comfortable playing with it. And you know, you mentioned a carnival, and I was like, okay, what kind of a child would she have been? And I was like, I usually play more of the outward, more outspoken type. So I'm like, okay, let me play somebody who's a little bit quieter. And then you gave me the reason why, and I was like, oh my god, that's perfect.
Yeah, those actually matched up pretty well.
That absolutely matched up, and I don't know how we did that.
What was Azrael's lost item, just to remind people?
Her lost item was a stuffed animal. I believe it was a stuffed fox that her mother had gotten her, and it kind of embodied like being brave, being strong. So she lost that, so she became a less confident person, a more subdued, like nervous, like I don't know if this is safe, if we should do this, guys, type of personality, instead of probably would have been a lot more open and outgoing and, you know, risk be damned type of personality instead. So that worked out somehow, and I don't know why. As far as with Gwen, I remember that night when we lost Azrael and Phelan, I was already thinking ahead of characters. I'm like, okay, who could I bring in that would help this group? And then I was like, wait, hold on. Lit lost a character too. So really quick message him. I'm like, hey,
sorry guys, I just pulled a Rachel and spilled coffee everywhere.
Nailed it.
I was literally sitting here like, dude, this is really okay.
Oh, this is nice liquid all over the keyboard.
Where's Mark when I need him to be like, stop.
you need your own Mark.
I need my own Mark just to stand near me and just, that's
Let's
fair.
be honest.
Please don't do that.
We all probably need our own Mark. Let's be honest.
That is very fair. Sorry to
I am the Mark in the relationship. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Perfect. Yeah. No, it was really fun to do that, and we'll talk about their death here in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely a big thing. What about you, Lit? How about your? Oh, also, quick before I forget and I lost it in the chat, Amara does want to know: does Colin have a ponytail? He's been wanting to know.
Yes. So we'll actually answer the question about Colin for a long time.
Yep.
He does have a ponytail. If you could look at the art, yes, the hair is probably very reminiscent of a specific character,
What?
specifically Link from Breath of the Wild. So yes, he does have. So yes, he does have a ponytail. But no, I've always loved the design of Link's hair for some reason. So I figured like halfling, sure, let's do this. I think I even sent the actual art of Link's hair when she was trying the character. Yeah, but so yes, Colin does have a ponytail. But in terms of Phelan, I remember we were Breath of the Wild, not the old cartoon.
That would be funny.
Yeah. But anyway, Phelan, when he came about, I saw everyone was creating their characters. Because, and I noticed there was a lot of casters and there's a lot of ranged characters. Okay, well, we need a frontliner. So I'm going to go Barbarian. And he actually originally started out as a sea elf, which hence is his name, Phelan Alagos. Alagos is, and you're going to get designed how I name my characters, Alagos is actually Sindarin Elvish, meaning storm wind or something along those lines. Because Phelan was going to become a Storm Herald Barbarian.
That would have been so cool.
The process is not nearly as in-depth as you guys.
And then Phelan specifically...
That would be a short answer.
Phelan, also because it was a pun, and of Phelan, and I think Shiv managed to figure that out. But regardless, eventually I saw we had so many elves, I swapped him over to being a water genasi, and the rest is basically history. As to him, I knew immediately, I was like, I just want him to be a happy-go-lucky guy, someone who can go up and be the tank and just be absolute chaos. And then you told me he lost his sense of fashion, which is why it's not because he has low intelligence. It's because he lost his sense of fashion. That's why he had the wings in front. And It was literally just because of that.
Oh, it looks great. Nope, I think it's the
Yep.
greatest fashion.
Yeah, and it wound up becoming a boon when I wound up doing that whole thing with the butterflies.
So funny.
Still can't believe that
Right.
worked.
Funny.
I know,
It was-
right?
It was so stupid. I love it though.
If there's ever a player that stumbled forward and succeeded stumbling forward, it was Phelan.
It was Phelan. Yeah.
It was Phelan. There's
It's insane.
that man should not have.
Like he
sincerely
rolled
should
so
not have-
poorly on like legit rolls, and then so good on like the stupidest shit that he did. I was like, why is this working right now?
This is why I constantly say this, and it always ends up being true. If it's stupid, it works.
Yeah, it's true.
No,
Yeah.
100%.
True.
Regardless of the game, regardless of the setting, if it is
For
a
sure.
stupid idea, it will work somehow.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
And then Colin came about, and the name Moonfellows when I suggested to Ange because we decided that they would worship Saloon, and Saloon is the goddess of the moon. So I figured, okay, Moonfellow, that's a pretty halfling last name, specifically for Forgotten Realms. And we landed on halflings because that sounded like a lot of fun. I figured we still need a frontliner, so I was at one point Colin was going to be a cleric, but then I swapped him over to being a paladin. Because that made a little bit more sense, and also with the charisma bonus and all that stuff. And also, I never really played a paladin full on in 5e just yet. I've done in past editions. So I figured, why not? And then there was this element, okay, try to take the element of a paladin being a holy warrior, but then taking it with a character that maybe at one point had genuine faith in Saloon with his family, but mainly started to drift away from that a little bit, and that when we can get into that later. So is that definitely that concept of taking a paladin who may be in for it more for the excitement and oath and less so for the deity.
That's fair.
Which eventually
Makes
that
sense
became
why I
made-
didn't do cleric too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was doing that kind of stuff, and then writing that element where he didn't become a cleric and writing that into his more or less his backstory. So then it was the element where he was going to go into a cleric and then basically more or less flunked out of cleric school.
Makes sense.
So yeah, and then everything that came along with that wound up going back into the campaign, and him having a smile, losing his smile, really caused him to become a fiery ball of energy, and eventually mellowing out. And there was a specific point with that where we can probably get into a little bit later. But yeah, that was a lot of fun figuring out Colin as I went along.
That's fun. No, it was super cool just to see like how what you guys presented to me, and then how it changed when like the actual story elements kind of came into it. So that was really cool. Silent, short, sweet, and simple.
I'm here for this.
It was supposed to be short. Like the module, I was told it wasn't gonna be like super super long. So I literally just picked a character I already made, and I was okay with dying. That's literally it.
I like guns. They shoot. Let's do
Also
it.
that, Tier was the first time I ever played a gunslinger, especially the fighter subclass. So
Oh, that's right. You started out as a fighter. I forgot about that.
I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't initially choose the straight up gunslinger class because one, I didn't know how I was gonna, keep track of all of it. And then two, I was already familiar with the fighter subclass, so I was like, I might as well just do that. But then the leveling was so slow. It was just like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Mm.
It didn't make
Yeah.
sense. So when Nick actually showed me the class, I ended up just switching that. Like I think we were in Loom Lurch, and I was already making that transition.
Mm.
Yeah.
And not
So-
too much change, but enough to make it, I think,
Yeah.
make more sense for the character.
Yeah, it made more sense for the character at that point. And yeah, funny enough, even with like the lost items, it just didn't really change. It didn't really change the character who he was for the most part. It was like he just
Kind of like those secondary hobbies for you, yeah.
yeah, it was like because I easily could have made the whole thing of him singing be something else. Like that didn't necessarily have to be his thing he lost. It was just
Yeah, I was
It
so
just lined up
tempted to like
perfect.
turn it into just like you couldn't sing ever.
That
So
would
you
be
were
interesting.
like a singer,
Ooh.
like you were very creative and passionate, but it was almost like the Little Mermaid thing, where it's like, but it got stolen from you. You know?
Yeah.
Or every time you do it, it's like, ah! Like
It's you become me singing.
But yeah, that's really it. It's like if he was a character, I was okay with dying because he has died already. This is his second life.
So how did you guys
So-
feel about specifically the first chapter then, the carnival? Because I feel like this campaign is kind of, even though there's 5 chapters to it, it feels like it's the carnival and then the hags. Like it's a very like, it's 2 different parts essentially. Like you could take the carnival and just put that into somewhere by itself and have that be its own thing.
Oh, yeah.
How did you guys feel that the time, like the pacing went for the carnival, and did you guys enjoy it as an introductory thing to allow your players to get to know each other, or what are your thoughts on that as players going into it? Thank you, Amara.
Go ahead.
I would say I think that the carnival is the best written portion of the entire module. It feels almost as if Wizards decided we want to have a carnival campaign, and that was the big thought, and then they just smashed the Feywild onto it to try to explain and justify the price tag almost. Because don't get me wrong, the Feywild portion is a lot of fun. It just feels almost not as tightly written. It feels like there's not as much player agency as there is in the first part, because the first part is all player driven and there's a competition going on. So you're all working together, but you're all working against each other too. And that was a lot of fun. And despite the roller coaster, I thought everything was very well written. It was a solidly done. Just feels like the last bit was an afterthought. And oddly enough, that's probably the longest I've spent at level 1 for any pre-written. I did the math. For our module, for how long we spent, we did 5 sessions basically at the carnival, 24 sessions. We spent about 20% of the campaign at level 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then basically the level up system was kind of like 2 at a time in a way. Is how
a little bit, yeah.
It was milestone. It was when you encounter one and then you leave, and then you typically encounter a hag right before you leave the piece of the domain. So it's like, all right, well, here's one level. Next session, here's another one, like right off the bat. So
yeah.
Yeah, so that's generally my thought. I thought the pacing of the beginning was fine. The rest of it just felt kind of almost an afterthought.
What was your favorite part of the carnival then, before we ask someone else?
Yeah, no problem. For Phelan, legitimately going into the Hall of Mirrors.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I thought you were going to say the Dragonfly.
The Dragonfly was fun, but Phelan going to the House of Mirrors had so much fun from a role player's perspective of a character who just doesn't understand what's going on around him.
Yeah.
And then me as a player trying to play almost chickens with this character.
That's right. I forgot Colin wasn't actually in the carnival.
No.
They had their own experience, but yeah,
They had their own experience with the carnival, but Colin wasn't with the original group, right?
Yeah. No,
we say
forgot
they
about
did
that.
it 80 years before, or is it 8 years before? I'm trying to remember.
8 years.
Because
Yeah.
it was
8 years.
like 8.
I think it was the carnival
weeks.
prior.
Yeah,
That's
it was
right,
the last
8 weeks.
carnival.
Yeah. So
It was the carnival prior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. So what about you, Angie? Same question, kind of with the carnival. Did you like it? Did you like the pacing of it? And then, like, what were things you liked or didn't like about the carnival part?
Well, like Lit said, I loved the carnival. That was by far my favorite part, because it was a great way for the characters to interact with each other. You basically forced them to interact with each other, but it was in a fun way. Like, it wasn't you have to get together because now you have a quest, like typical sessions may start out with. But now it was well, no, this is more lighthearted. Now you get to actually know each other instead of bonding through this experience, which I thought was fantastic, because we got to see more personal sides of these characters. And the other part with the actual Feywild itself, I agree, the pacing was very off. I still loved it, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed it. But I feel like they've put more focus in the carnival than the actual hag portion. And if they would have put as much thought into the carnival with the hags, it would have been perfectly, absolutely wonderful across the board. The other part just felt very rushed, whereas the carnival felt very, I don't want to say slow, but it was a more comfortable pace. Like, yes, it was this time limit, but while you were playing, you could stretch that out for a while.
Now,
Because we stretched it out.
here's a question for you guys. So I purposely did that, where I wasn't forcing the carnival. Do you feel it was written where the other slices were faster? Or do you think that was also partially me? Because we were trying to make it a shorter campaign at first, and then about halfway through it's kind of like, all right, whatever, like this is actually going pretty well, Wednesdays are cool, we can make this work, so we can just do it, we'll just go week by week. Because like early on I definitely shrunk a lot of those random encounters in the first, I think, piecemeal, to kind of just be like, all right, well, you guys are going to go to the main stuff without making it, letting you guys breathe and have like campfires and random encounters and things like that.
I think it has more to do with the module itself, because of those moments of letting the player stuff and like that, having campfires, that's on the DM. That is not on that. And the fact that you ran it by the book, not having those moments, that means that that's the problem with the book, not the DM. And it's so that's the thing, where it just feels like the first part, having 5 sessions or something like that at a specific place, that is so much time. That's plenty of time.
Yeah.
And I think we all agreed if we had been there for longer than 5 sessions, we would have been meh. But even then, you said, with the second part, I believe it was Loon Lurch, the second part of the Feywild.
Right. Where that was the main base thing, yeah.
Where we realized, we realized that we almost did that entire section in 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Like,
you guys went so slow and then doom. You went through really quick. Yeah.
It's like you hit a lag spike and then suddenly you caught up.
I will have to say, Hither, the first one you went to, felt like it had more stuff to do, and then Bavlorna. Whereas the second one felt like there wasn't much for you to do except Loomlurch. Like the kids and then Loomlurch, right? And you had the unicorn and other stuff, but like you guys got through them so much quicker because they were just a simple, hey, go talk to this guy. Nope, go talk to this guy. You know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, I actually tend to agree with that. And Amara had a good point too, and I think Shiv was kind of kicking on that as well. It definitely feels like it could have been 2 modules fleshed out better. You know, you could have had this carnival, even if you had them go somewhere else for like a final encounter, or in and out and come back. Like maybe you had to go find out something or retrieve something, come back to the carnival. You know what I mean? Like have the whole encounter be 9 hours at this carnival or something like that. Or maybe even you guys have to sneak with the carnival as it travels to its next destination. I think it'd be really, really cool to homebrew something a longer extended version of it.
Because they were setting up a solid mystery, actually, and
then it kind of let down with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light of being like,
it
well,
did.
Sorry, our hands are tied.
And that's why it felt like 2 different things, because that's a thing that just went absolutely nowhere. Whereas you take, like, let's say, Curse of Strahd, which is hailed as the greatest 5e module for a good reason, every part feels necessary. It feels like it either exists to set up Barovia as a dangerous place, or the overarching plot. Every part had a necessary element, and even the same thing with Rime of the Frostbane. Every portion exists for a specific reason.
This one campaigns on my wish list of wanting to run at some point too.
Both of those are fantastic. But anyway, this one just feels like they went with one idea, and that was it.
Silent, what do you think? Because I know you probably have to be jumping here soon, but what's your take on the carnival and all that?
It was fun. It was a good bit. A personal thing, I kind of wish we were there for more of the module.
Interesting. Okay.
My only thing is like, it was fun getting into the whole Feywild stuff, but I think like everyone kind of agrees, it felt like a whole separate thing. It didn't necessarily feel too connected with the carnival. Like I get that's kind of like the carnival is kind of the what's the word I'm looking for?
Tutorial?
Introductory.
Not so much the tutorial, the catalyst.
Catalyst.
Okay.
That's right.
There
It's
you
the
go.
catalyst. It's the catalyst for the whole event happening.
Right. Because there'd be
But-
no reason for you guys to get involved. I mean, I guess you could have a different hook, potentially.
Yeah. And I get the carnival is supposed to be the catalyst for the whole event, but it could have been for what actually happened in the Feywild. Something else could have easily have been the hook and
That's actually fair.
worked just
Like,
as well.
yeah, now that I just think about
Yeah.
that, it's like you guys could have played that module totally as a totally different reason why you got, injected. Maybe you saw and interacted someone get stolen in front of you, and you had to fight like the little thieves as they disappear.
Mhm.
You find out someone what it's about, and then you get steered towards the thing. Now the carnival's
Yeah.
this off-screen thing of like where these people are taking advantage of people in your realm. So now it makes sense why you would want to go help
Yeah.
as well. So now it's two different
Sure.
adventures.
Yeah.
And one of my major gripes was actually the castle at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was too big
Yeah.
for many reasons, but here are like my main points. Too big, too many things can happen there,
Yeah.
and way too many ways to open doors.
That's actually,
'Cause-
yeah.
We had the crown, so we technically did not need the book anymore.
Yeah.
But we also didn't need the crown because we had the book.
Yeah, it was a conundrum. It was so weird.
Yeah.
On that one, it was, to be fair, it's how you guys came
Yeah.
to the
I understand that's
Well, I
mostly
do
like how we
understand.
did it.
But it was also, it's a possible route, so it should have been thought of that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
I
funny
mean,
because when you read like on Reddit or other people, the idea of the crown locks is actually, for most DMs, something that they say is a really cool idea because it's like, oh, it's something interesting and that they have to interact with. But I do notice that most players are like, it just feels a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
And so
That's
it's
my-
really funny to see that interaction there.
And that's the thing. Even as a DM, I would look at that, and that's actually where a lot of my gripes came from. As a DM and designing dungeons, I'm like, okay, going back once to get something changed, that's fine. But having to do that every single time, that's bad game design.
And technically, as it's written, you're supposed to have to offer something to the gargoyle every single time you want to, like, it's something, I don't know if the crown goes back or if you have to like put it back on its head and get it back, you have to offer it something new. But then there's something that like, or you could persuade it above a DC and then it'll like be like, all right, fine, you don't have to give me anything else. But like to feel like you have to offer a trinket or offer something new or every single time.
Yeah,
Like-
that's excessive.
Yeah.
That's what we call padding.
Yeah.
I think B also, I kind of agree with you that. I was hoping the
yeah.
sword was necessary.
I was also hoping that would be like, we get it down, but then all of a sudden it
It
heals,
comes back
and
and we
it's
need to
like,
use the sword.
oh god.
And
Yeah.
the way you were playing the sword too kind of made it sound like we did need the sword.
Right.
But then
Right.
the thing just stayed dead, and I was like, oh, okay, so we didn't need it.
Well, so the
Okay.
sword, what the sword did is that it gets like 10 regen hit points every turn, but if you strike it with the Vorpal sword, it stops at regen.
Oh.
And to
I
be fair,
probably would've-
you guys had 6 people, and you're I think like a level higher, or either level or 2 higher than you should have been, going into the castle. So that's actually why I threw the Bloodbeak in there because I was like, y'all can
Yeah,
probably
Why
but-
make that the end? Why make that the end then if our level is actually higher than it needs to be?
because so that's actually not supposed to be a combat.
Really?
That was something
Really?
I ran for you guys mainly because people were like, I want to fight a Jabberwock, and I was like, you guys are kind of like, well, this group I think likes combat a little bit more than what I think the book is. Not, I wouldn't say
Was intending.
I actually would say intended for it. That's a lot of the gripes of a lot of people is like, this campaign is really meant to be RP only, or RP mostly. It's most of the combats are not balanced well at all. And so what you're supposed to do is sneak around it or run away, and then you could free Bloodbeak and then have them start fighting each other, and they would have flown off to fight each other. So you guys technically weren't supposed to even fight them, and I was like, well, this sucks. I'm just gonna have Bloodbeak get confused when it gets near, and then have you guys take both of them down. So
I don't know how I feel about modules just writing out an entire pillar of D&D. Like, like if Phelan had gone through the whole Feywild and we had him,
no combat.
Why play a barbarian?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Or even why play a gunslinger at that point? Like,
why? Like, if I had Astral the entire time, it'd be like, well, okay, she exists.
If it's RP mostly. If it was intended to be more RP than combat, then classes like Paladin, Warlock, Bard, those would be like the picks because they're all charisma based.
Right.
That's another reason why I leaned toward Paladin, because I realized this was going to be more. Because I realized after the fact that charisma is going to be a big thing, so I went and did it. So I think, yeah,
I agree. As a DM, I think it's a unique and cool thing to be, hey, you have an RP like centered group that wants to try and get through this. Like, I could see Ren, Karis, and Riot coming through and going all the way through this without combat and feeling satisfied with it, right? Like that sort of setup group. But I don't feel like a campaign should write itself in a way that it assumes that the group is going to be doing that. And it doesn't necessarily assume. I think it inherently does and subconsciously does. And it tries to be like, oh, well, if they do want to fight here, A, B, and C. But it didn't flesh it out well enough, and it should have been like, all right, well, if they want to talk, here's this, and if they want to fight, here's a balanced encounter. Because, to be honest, even if I like RP, I still like combat sometimes. Or if you're all combat, sometimes you don't want to have combat. So like having those options to go either way, depending on how the character would feel, I think is very important in a balanced module. So
yeah,
absolutely.
And like, to be fair, this is kind of supposed to be touted as like for new players as well, I guess. I mean, but new players would be like murder hobos, right? Typically, I mean, I wouldn't say murder hobos, but like combat. So I don't know. I would definitely say this is for sure a roleplay heavy advanced group. I don't think the DM necessarily has to be super advanced on this one versus like more from what I've heard for like Netherdeep or like other campaigns. Strahd, I feel like you have to be a pretty advanced DM to handle the openness of it. But
there are better modules for beginner players.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, for sure. Waterdeep Dragon Ice. Like.
Yeah. Exactly.
One, because that goes level 1 to 5. Like.
Yeah. Even what is it? Mines of Phandelver. That's
Phandelver, I think, is one of the best.
Beginner one too.
Phandelver and even Icespire Peak. Those two are.
Phandelver was my first.
Yeah.
And then it devolved into a weird random homebrew campaign with multiple DMs. It was weird. It was a weird time.
That sounds strange. So
it was fun though. I mean, I still enjoyed it. So yeah.
So we have about 15 minutes left before we wrap. I know we've been going pretty quick. So I kind of want to speak specifically to the fact that we had a non-combat death. Obviously, the roller coaster thing in the carnival, I still think is a great written element. I do not like the mechanical aspect of the exhaust. I know it was supposed to be like, oh, well, no one's ever, because what was it? You're supposed to roll a D3 and a D8. A D3 is how many levels of exhaustion you get, and a D8 is how many days you have nightmares. And if you fail your save, you have to roll the D3 again and get those many exhaustion levels. So I was like, wow, technically, if they both roll real shitty, they could die in 2 nights, or 1 night, technically. And guess what? 2 of our characters did.
Yeah.
So how... Yeah. I know we've talked about that shouldn't have happened. And I remember we talked about that. Do you want me to step in as a DM and change this or kind of retcon this a little bit? And we decided not to. We decided to go forward, let it happen, let it kind of play into the thing. And you guys had really great characters. The Moonfellas come in. That being said, we know it's a shitty mechanic. But for you as players, how how did that change the experience, the fact that that happened, and how did it feel having it be non-combat versus combat? Did it take away the glory of it in a way?
Can I? I don't know these. I know it's mainly a question for us too, but like
you were affected a lot too. You did the whole send off.
Yeah. I actually need to. I do need to hop off though. Yeah. So I'm just gonna answer real quick and then probably get going.
Sure.
Yeah.
But my whole thing was, in the long run, it was fine because of how we kind of discussed it afterwards. But in the moment, I thought it was dumb.
Yeah.
I thought that it was unfair to both you guys and the DM, who has to now scramble to try and figure out, like, okay, how am I going to deal with this moving forward? How am I going to plan out, like, should I, like you said, do I step in? Do I overrule the module? Which it's a tough situation for both player and DM, and me being both, at times I get it. Like, it sucks. So that's my 2 cents.
No, I 100% agree with you. In the moment when they rolled, I was like, I remember, like, you guys can watch me on film of being like, I don't know if I want to do this, but I've told everyone I'm like committed to doing it by the book. And so I felt very betrayed of, like, I would never do this as a DM ever. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time killing a character, so it's even harder to allow it to push through. So that was really, really tough to do as a DM. I felt very guilty for the longest time as a DM, for sure.
I know you did.
Yeah.
What about you two then? And do you need to jump off, Silent?
Yeah, I do need to hop off. So.
Yeah,
everyone go check out Silent Legend's channel. He is a legend. He is amazing, and he played a wonderful character in this one. So you will see him
awesome
yet again, I'm sure. But thank you so much for joining us, buddy. Especially because I'm probably gonna have to fix cameras here in a second.
All right, I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Not gonna help. Hey, you don't have to do too much, actually.
That's great. I would say, for me, like, it was kind of a twofold thing. Like, losing a character is rough, no matter how you do it or how it goes down. But I think it was more traumatic because it wasn't combat. It was like...
Wasn't expected.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was unexpected. Like, I wasn't upset. I know when Gwen and Colin died, I was upset there, but that was for other reasons entirely.
True.
But I was more shocked than I was upset. I was like, okay, all right.
Especially with the added element of if you die in the Feywild, of how you die. When you guys had a chance on an 8 to come back, and so I was like, all right, well, cool. At least there's some level of way to come back. And then you guys are like, acid, and you turn to bone. I was like, fuck. Like, that's savage, dude. There's no, like, reincarnation. There's no nothing. Like, I totally would have let the players jump back through the portal and have you guys be revived if that's what you want to do. Like, that was my plan. If you wanted to kind of retcon it, but still make it like, oh, we're fine. Damn, that was intense, but let's go forward again, sort of thing.
Yeah. Right. And, like, again, and I know you guys as my players in DM knew, but for the audience, that day, what was it, 20 minutes before game, I got notification that my great uncle, who was like a grandfather to me, had passed away. So, like, I'm starting a game in an emotional state. I'm like, all right, nope, focus, focus. Was
that Azrael's death, or was that?
No, that was Gwen.
That was Gwen's. That's what I thought.
Gwen. Okay.
So that's gonna be my follow-up question too. Then and you can continue on this, but like my follow-up question would be: so now that you guys did 5 sessions later lose your characters in combat, do you feel like that was okay in the session as well? And do you feel like that should have been changed as a encounter with the gelatinous cylinder and Bev Lorna's little slot? But you guys can continue on the first one and answer that later if you want.
With Azrael's death in specific, I, as a player, hated it because it was it wasn't well thought out for what level we were. And it had nothing to do with you. You did everything you could to help us. And I know Lit and I were like immediately afterwards, like, all right, let's get this plan in motion. Because I, for one, was concerned about you because I knew you took that really hard. Because, like me, you're like, okay, there's the option for death, but I'm not just going to kill you outright for stupid reasons because lol. You know, so it was like, well, it sucks, but that's why I made the joke. This is just payback because I didn't kill your character, so you got the jump on me. Right. Because I had
what
to
else
laugh.
are you supposed to do at that point? Is just laugh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It was like, well, that sucks. But as it turned out, the more that we played, the more I was like, Azrael would not have done well in Feywild. And like, I didn't know that's where we were going at the start of the campaign, so I hadn't geared her up for that. But with her, like, inner turmoil and being terrified and stuff like that, she would not have done well there at all. So I think it actually worked out very well.
That's a great thing. Yeah.
The way it was sucked, but overall it happened, and then I got to bring in Gwen, who became one of my favorite characters. Mm-hmm. So it worked out.
Nice. What about you, Lip?
For Phelan's death, I mean, it was obvious on stream. I was having a great time because I thought it was so stupid that I was like, this
and you realized it first before anyone else. You could watch it. You're like, yeah. And
well, like, that's because like a lot of people know I'm very much I like figuring out mechanics. Mechanics I love. So I figured out the D6 is the D3 is my exhaustion. I rolled a 6 on the D6. That's a 3. I was like, I'm dead. Yeah. I thought it was hysterical because it was honestly it made the mechanic was dumb. We've established that. I think it would have been better if it was more along the lines of a frightened condition.
I agree.
I think that would have been better. It would have been less punishing. But that being said,
or even a nightmare for one night and you get exhaustion. That's it.
That would have been better. It would have done the same. It would have been just as effective, but not as punishing. But anyway, Phelan going out like that, to me, as much as people loved him and as much as I loved him, I also did intentionally make a barbarian with not great stats in order to have the DM be perfect to mess with, but at the same time, that would have been it would have added a lot of interesting conflict in combats, potentially. But the benefit is that it did bring in Colin, where Phelan was a lot of fun character, Colin wound up becoming a much deeper character.
Yeah.
I want being a character I could actually sink my teeth into. So Phelan was a great character to start out with, have a lot of goofy fun, because I don't get to be a player that much. And so it felt fun to just go wild, and then it felt fun to go back into Colin and actually really dig my deep into a character concept. So I wound up being okay with it, but that's also because I'm used to characters dying.
Yeah.
I've had several characters die in my time, so it was nothing new to me. That's why I wanted to tell you, you're fine. This is not you. This is the game.
For sure.
So then with the second death, I mean, you can see it on screen. Amara pointed it out, where like, I think it was a round. The round before it got to me, you could see me on camera counting.
Yeah.
And the moment it got to a specific point, I just put the sheet to the side because I knew Colin's dead. And that's when I started figuring out methods for how he could come back or like other characters. I started thinking like I was looking at like a monk cleric almost for like my my third character. But then we brought him back, and that allowed Colin to really lean into another element of a paladin questioning his faith, which is something that a lot of people deal with. I mean, I've dealt with it.
For sure.
So, and then eventually at a specific moment, Loom Lurch, when the orc NPC died, that's when he realized I can't do this on my own, and that was the most pivotal moment for him. And that's, if you notice, that's actually when he started to soften a lot in his approach.
And it was really interesting because that kind of happened off screen in a way. it didn't like there wasn't a whole lot of like you telling anybody you're doing that. It's just a change in him from that happened. Like the orc wasn't brought up much afterwards, but it was a very integral part to that. So it was really cool to see him and Gwen go through those different moments and stuff like that. Which meaning, and my last question here, because we have a few minutes, but how do you guys like their ending, especially with Saloon, and at least do you guys feel like you had options as well? Because that was my biggest part of going Revenant was like, I want to make sure, they did make a deal, right? There has to be cost to making a deal after death. However, I don't want to take player agency away by not letting you guys have at least a choice to where to go. So were you guys satisfied in kind of how that resolved for them?
Oh, I was absolutely content with it. Because ironically enough, when we lost Phelan and Azrael, we rolled the exact same thing. That's where I came up with the concept of twins, and like as we were working in the background, we decided these two are really close. Like they're each other's best friend. They are that close. They butt heads. Like Gwen was the only one who could really rein Colin in because he was feisty, and even though she physically could not overpower him, she could somehow mysteriously every time overpower him, that kind of thing. So seeing that relationship continue to where at the end Gwen had that emotional speech pretty much saying that she could potentially have a life and continue living. She found no reason for it without her brother.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And like them walking hand in hand proudly into the afterlife, that really got me kind of in the feels because of the journey that they went through. And I had an absolute blast building these two with Lit. Like we were constantly with every level up like, oh, you should do this, and he's the one who actually convinced me to multi-class and cleric for her. And like we were constantly messaging each other about, hey, you should go down this line and you should do these spells or stuff like that. So I'm satisfied as both a player because it was fun going through that and getting to the point where I was hanging out and talking to Lid a lot more, and we were building our friendship as well as seeing the characters build their relationship. It was just all around satisfying for me. Like I couldn't ask for a better ending for a character.
Yeah, this was the first time as a player I ever played a character that at a table that had a sibling or even just a flat out twin. So that was a lot of fun to explore. As far as Colin's ending go, of course, as with what we established, of course, it was Gwen. Even though Rhea and Glass had a big push in him trying to understand it's her decision, of course, I wanted it to kind of be Gwen to be the one to finally give him a smack upside the head and just say, you're an idiot, I'm coming with you. Even though he desperately had a lot of guilt with him, because he felt like he screwed all these things up and things like that. And that's really, again, what started with the orc. He realized my hot-headedness is causing all this pain. I want to start making this correct. And I realized that's when I started going with Saloon. And I think it was around that point I stopped introducing him as even a paladin of the Raven Queen and more introducing him as a paladin of Saloon. Because I wanted to echo that progression of him starting to embrace his former heritage of starting to gain that faith back in Saloon.
It was fun to DM, as you guys leveled up and continued forward and near at the end to have more glowing Saloon things versus the feathers that when you guys started with, so that was fun.
So and then going in that way was great, with the imagery of even Gwen leaning more into the Raven Queen aspect was also really cool. So talking and growing that friendship with Ange also was just great, of going back and forth. Because I remember saying, oh, you could go cleric, and I forgot what domain I suggested even. But I was like,
I can't remember, but we're like, oh yeah, that would work. And I was like, holy shit, yeah, of course that would work.
Yeah, I forgot what domain.
I forget too completely. But like we sat there for a good couple of hours shooting about these multi-classes, and we were like, "Oh my god, this makes sense for them." It was great. It was so much
awesome.
fun.
Well, thank you guys so much. You always know you are welcome at my table, and I had so much fun having you guys join in for this. So take your bow as the Feywild campaign is coming to a close. So thank you guys so much for this. We'll go ahead and make another quick break and join in with the next hour with our other 3 players, as well as our announcement trailer for our next project that I'm super excited about. So stick with that in about 30 minutes. And also don't forget, !monster, to join our giveaway for Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse. As well as make sure to check out Angie's stream and Lit stream as well. They have both amazing content, and both will probably have amazing content as well coming up. And I think I just did a little cooldown there, so let me redo Lit again. There we go. Okay. But go ahead and get up, go to the bathroom. We'll be right back for the second half of tonight's little Q&A. I can remember what thing I'm going to. There we go. Party dice.
Professional.
It is.
Is it? I don't
Yes.
know. There's a lot
Yes,
of people
I
had
looked- I
issues
looked
with
it up.
labels. Okay,
Yeah, because
good.
you drink on stream.
Well,
Nick,
hey,
I've seen.
apparently this is how we're introing. So what's up, guys? Welcome
That was
back,
like Mike.
everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining in, and our second half of our wonderful, amazing, beautiful crew. So it was going to be a little chaotic if we had all 6 on stream at once, but we had Silent, Angie, and Lit, and now for the second half of the little post recap here, we have a Rhea sandwich with Autumn, Rhea, and
Autumn on top.
as always.
You know, I feel like this is accurate for the girls. It's fine.
So, as always, why don't we go through and just introduce yourself, if you're a streamer or anything, and then who you played during the campaign. Nick, why don't you go first? You're on top.
All right. Always.
And
so
for every
yeah,
hydrate, we're adding a shot to our drinks. I'm putting that out there now.
I have a whole glass ready to go. So,
Cheers.
all right. So I am Nick. I'm PITV Studios on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter. And here come the hydrates. So let's just get right onto it.
Yep, there's no cooldown on this tonight. I think we're going tasty.
Oh no.
I only have a little bit of this left.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Don't get too excited. I'm just finishing off my bottle is all.
Amara.
Tomorrow.
Oh, jeez.
Amara,
Wants to do the
thanks for
sandwich, that's the
it's
problem.
the
How about we do?
trailer
How about we do
thing.
intros and then we can drink some.
No, for
Yeah.
sure. And tonight's gonna end up be like everybody just this is the
Fuck it,
Feywild. Fuck it.
We were talking about stuff and things. I had
But no,
Everybody
we are
gets a
going to
book.
drink responsibly and
Yes.
hydrate a lot. But I want to go through it.
Yes. Alrighty, but yeah, so I'm Nick, PITV Studios, everywhere, you know,
Ooh, that's
general BS. If you've seen the Feywild, you know who I am. I played Autumn Sephirin. She was the other half of the Gunslinger duo. Our favorite, you know, black powder hussy.
Yeah.
What a woman.
What a woman.
We love her.
Mm-hmm. That's it for me. I mean, I'm on Twitch. If you don't
Okay.
already follow me, I do DnD streams and photo bashing and the like. So
Definitely
Stop
go check
on
out Pit of. He is amazing and does some awesome streams. So go check that out. Why is it not doing it in the chat? Oh well, whatever. You'll know where to find it. But thank you so much. Cheers. To Autumn.
Here's to Autumn.
Your Highness, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh yes. My name is Brittany. I go by Sassy Fire on the internet. I do not stream. You cannot find me on Twitch. Sorry. But you can find me on Twitter. I don't tweet. It's
But
fine.
you can't find it there.
You can find me there. I retweet
Alerts.
a lot of art and dice. That mostly D also tweets and retweets. But in this campaign, I played Rhea. She was a half elf. She's not dead. A half elf warlock. Her father was her patron. He is the Rose King. Was the Rose King. Anyway,
Guess we'll never find out.
no, we'll never know. But yeah, just do what Daddy said, and he said to go to Sibylla, so she did.
Perfect. And last but not least, our official artist of the campaign, the amazing Raphazeel, who did this art like what, within a week or two? I mean, you
Yeah, it was like-
knocked
it was in,
these
like, a
out
week.
quick. So a lot of just praise and admiration goes to D for doing this for us. It's amazing. Her commissions
fabulous.
are open. You should go check them out. They are so good.
Mhm.
What do you think? Why don't you introduce yourself after that intro?
Hi. Yeah, hi. That was my intro, so thanks.
Say it all again.
Yep. It's
I'm
worth
Bailey.
saying
I
twice.
go by Raphazeel. I am on Twitch and Twitter and pretty much all sorts of social medias. Yeah, I stream art all the time. Just come check me out tomorrow, 1 p.m. PST. That plug. I play Glass in this, and a Ladrin Warlock as well, with the an Elven Prince of the Stars, which is the Seeker Pact, which is UA stuff for now. I hope it actually gets officially released because it's actually really cool. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really cool. I like what you guys' choices for characters are. With being said, and also, wow, thank you, Nick. This brew is spicy. It's actually really good. So
You're welcome.
Italian creamer caramel cappuccino spicy rum. We wanted to have our pirate campaign. But that being said, as we've gone through everything, so we're talking post Witchlight, Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I want to hear from all of you guys your inspirations for your characters, how you came up with them, and, you know, why you played them. And also now, and I think like a good question is kind of like if you saw what the other ones were talking about, now that you know what the Feywild Wild Beyond the Witchlight holds, would you change your character at all if you know what you had going in, or would you have kept it the same?
Same order?
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
Same order.
Same order.
All right, outvoted. Here we go.
It's a democracy.
No, Autumn actually was a character concept that I've been wanting to play for a while. So much so, because as many of you probably know, I don't have many opportunities to play in DnD. I usually run. I've been a forever GM for like 15 years. So when I got invited to play this game, that was quite exciting. But yeah, Autumn herself had already existed almost exactly. I added the backstory stuff and tweaked her a little bit so that she could fit into this game. But Autumn originated as a gunslinger in my Victorian horror setting, and she was basically a member of the Inquisition. So if you saw my one shot for Inquisition Unsolved Cases, she was a hunter. And she was known as the Black Powder Hussy, and she hunted specifically Fey and creatures from the Feywild. So she was very skilled at hunting them, which going into a Feywild game, I was like, hey, I kind of already have this character concept of...
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I was like, it's like, as long as you're okay with the gunslinger class, which if I know a couple of people have asked before, but if you're interested at all in the book, I do have the book if you would like a copy. It's from the Arcane Artillery Gun Nuts Guide. It is a fantastic book, like supplement book for 5e that I can't remember who made it, but
is that what Autumn and Tier do? Gun Nuts?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
all the hydrates.
We might as well ask that now. Is Tyr and Autumn official? Is that something that lasted?
I mean, so for everybody that saw the finale, yeah, she has preferences, and it's basically men that are courageous or women that are courageous who can actually, throw themselves in the ring with her. So being abruptly approached and kissed spontaneously was a good first start. She had to put him in his place, though. So as much as he enjoyed it and she let him enjoy it, she marked some borders lines there. So
With a freaking foot.
I'll let Silent decide, but I'm pretty sure that Tyr probably would have continued to pursue. And assuming that he was,
I've heard consent on that side, so I do think so far, things are continuing forward. But
yeah, she thinks Tyr's a nice guy. She also, they were gunslinging buddies. It was a good connection from the start, I think, and it was really fun even for like the narrative, like narratively, because not that she was like his teacher or anything like that, but like she kind of showed him the tricks, and then he developed his gunslinger and went down a different path, and it was
really cool. Yeah,
it was cool to see it play out. So she's got herself, a nice guy that she can push around.
That's perfect for her.
Super healthy relationship.
And seriously, everyone that is like in our community as well, like you guys have known how Nick has come in, and we found him by, it was either Pip or I rated you, right?
Yeah,
And
so Rage
helped you-
rated me.
Yeah, and we helped you like push to affiliate. And
Yep.
ever since, it was just, yeah, you just like been jumping in and been part of it. And you've become like really, really close friends with a lot of people here. So
Yeah.
super,
Yeah, I
super
got
happy
raided
to have
by-
you joined this campaign.
Yeah, I got raided by Pip, and then the next day I caught your stream,
That's
and then
what it
you
was,
were the
yeah.
one that, and then you were the one that posted the link to the server, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. So I joined the server, and here we are.
He looks like a steady bot. I guess I could try it.
Yeah, I was like, this guy seems really personal. I like him.
Perfect. Well, no, it's seriously from the bottom of my heart. It was super cool to see you be a player, especially because I know you're a forever DM. To have you join the tables.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Brittany, how
Oh,
about
hi.
you? Because
I can't
you
remember
know,
the original question.
you are the reason, and the
Oh.
one that came up with the idea for
I
playing.
love the Feywild.
Yeah.
So much.
So,
It's so much.
what brought you to create Rhea, and where did that inspiration come from, especially with the Rose King tie-in?
I secretly love lore. I don't know if it's a secret. I like lore a lot. I
What?
like messing with lore a lot. I am not a purist at all.
Lit cringes.
I know. I'm sorry, Lit. I think it's fun to mess around with it. Especially because you know what? It's your game. You can do whatever you want.
I definitely strive to the idea that every table's a different multiverse of lore.
100%. So I knew I wanted to try a class I'd never played. I've never done an arcane caster. Typically play other things. So I was like, I'm gonna do warlock this time. And then I was looking through the options, and Fae Daddy just seemed like such a good thing for me.
Hey, Daddy, of course.
Oh yeah, I had fun playing that.
That was
And
super
so I
fun to see that like
Yeah.
established over time. It's really cool.
Yeah, and then I went on a deep wiki dive of various people associated with the courts, and I
Mhm.
found Rose King, and then I just was like, that's an easy thing to theme around. Went with it.
Yeah,
And
it
I
was-
wouldn't change her. I think it worked out good for the campaign.
Perfect. It was really interesting to see how none of you guys decided to be carnival hands, because that was a background option for this campaign, but no one decided it. But still having Feywild, characters
John.
in it
Yes.
is really cool to have. So, D, it sounds like you're barking to talk about your characters. Why don't you go ahead and start?
I'm barking.
John is.
We heard John in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ranger's barking. I was like, woof.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, woof.
A woof. Glass. So I also love the Feywild a lot. And because I knew that this was kind of flavored, because I had bought the book and I had already flipped through it. I hadn't read anything. I
I'm
didn't
joking.
cheat.
I'm joking.
I was flipping through it and I was like, I saw the Snicker Snack, which is what the sword that Rhea ended up with. And I was like, I want to play in this at some point. And this was like just like a week or so right before we started organizing all this. So it's actually really fun timing. So I was already kind of thinking about it. But then design-wise, I was like, I'm gonna go in like Alice in Wonderland. This is already gonna be some kind of crazy stuff. I've never played an Eladrin, that's fun. Honestly, I was really happy that glass, because, yeah, the looking glass through the looking glass was the whole thing, right?
Mhm.
So I looked at Pinterest, I looked at some like creepy marionette dolls for inspiration on her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. And I was like, wait, but she has other seasons. And I was like, oh, I can't think of them right now. And then I'm like, she doesn't have them right now. They're gone. They're missing. I don't want to design them right now. So it worked out because everything got split, with like this like prism thing. There's a whole bunch of backstory on that. And so it's actually just really fun to kind of like have that personality like slowly come back. And I kept thinking the idea of like in Alice in Wonderland losing your muchness was kind of the thing I like clung to. And I was like, she doesn't have it. And so it was like that slow, like Alice finding herself through all of this, So yeah, that was kind of the main inspiration, and then just really going into it with the seasons and all that. So I actually do regret not being a carnival hand. I think the only reason I didn't is because I didn't know how to tie in her losing her seasons in that. In hindsight, I know that I could have.
Right. That would have been a perfect way to look for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, also thanks guys about the comments as class. But yeah, I just kind of tried to embrace that like good chaotic side of the Fae. But yeah, he was just pretty fun.
Well, that was really fun for me because working with you on that, like, surprisingly enough, I feel like Glass was the hardest for me to like understand how to tie in to all this stuff. I was like, all right, cool. She has a Fae background, so like she'll just bunch in with Ray, right? Like that's kind of how I played it at first until like I was trying to understand how to handle this. And also for anyone that knows, like I had absolutely no understanding of Feywild outside of Critical Role, and this is a very different Feywild. I think Amara pointed that out in chat. Like this is not Critical Role's Feywild, which is a little bit more flavorful and fairy. This is more like Alice in Wonderland and courts and Sealy courts, and there's not much on it. Like there's old lore, but like I don't read, so like I'm not gonna take all the time to go through that because I don't know what applies to this or not. So I remember you sending me all this stuff and I'm like, damn, that's a long name. I was like, I don't know, Glass, sure. And like not understanding at all until what, like a couple weeks ago that was all her names of the seasons.
Yeah, so
like I knew
her
about the
full
seasons,
name,
but I didn't know the full name had to do with the seasons.
Yeah, so she has 4 names, and internally she calls them by those names, with Winter being Glass, but she's okay with everybody calling her Glass.
That's how they met her too, yeah.
Yeah. It kind of goes, it kind of corresponds to, I was thinking with like a true name, because fairies have true names. So like her seasons do have their true names, but you know, if you know it, then that's fine. But you know, she doesn't really hide it. But yeah, I mean, I have she's 134. She has a lot of like backstory stuff that like I'll probably never touch, but yeah.
And it was super cool because like I think it helped too coming in. Everyone was like first time playing with each other, 6 people. So it was like Glass kind of stayed in the back a little bit. It was a little more solemn. But throughout the campaign, as you kind of stepped into it, Glass became this like whole nother character that took on this other just element. It was just really cool. I think it was one of like I loved all the players and characters, but I think this was one of them that it was like my favorite progression to watch during the game. So it's super cool.
I'm happy it was well executed.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining up in this campaign. It was super fun. It was a lot to have 6, but I think it worked for this campaign. I think for being as chaotic and wild as it was, and also not going into too deep backstory. So it was really, really fun. I don't know. It's 10 o'clock. What do you guys think about maybe moving on to our announcement section and then going back to, or do you want to wait to hold that a little later?
Your channel, dude. It's up to you.
Well, I
will say, knowing now that you are a fan of the Looking Glass Wars books makes so much sense. Glass makes so much sense to me now.
Yep.
Yes. Excellent.
Well,
excellent.
That being said, we had an amazing ride throughout this entire campaign with all of our players losing their lost items, going into the Witchlight Carnival, which we'll talk about here shortly. But as much as they've taken out the Hourglass Coven and, helped fix Prismere, there are a few things left unhandled. And that is where we're going to announce our next stream project here on the channel with a little announcement trailer. So here we go. Is it not working?
No.
There it is.
Everyone.
Oh, I'm so big. mics, pop people.
So fucking hot.
So there you got it. We're going to continue Rhea's story, The Fall of the Rose King, June 1st, with the 3 returning characters and some special guest stars. I'm super excited. I've been wanting to bring Creepy Black Dude in since day 1. I met him through Guild Quest during Phasmophobia days, way back when we started streaming. And we've been talking about trying to get in each other's games for a while. So I'm super excited to bring that in. We had to recreate his logo, and I love it so much. with the hedge.
Man, I'm so excited.
But we also have Arcane Anthems, which if you watch Fates United, you know he is the one that made our intro music for Fates United. He is really big on TikTok, and D, you are actually friends with him with Wes.
Yep.
So we're so excited to have him come in. And also Top Down Tabletop is going to come in again, a guest star, but instead of Vix this time, it's going to be Shanks. So we're super excited to have our guest stars come in and try and see how they can help the Rose King potentially figure out his problem with Rhea's sister having overthrown the Rose King and taken his court as they have left the Feywild and realize they still have some work to do. So that's gonna be a one shot that we're gonna do on June 1st. I'm super, super excited. We'll go ahead and do these Bardic Brews streams in between and kind of build some of the stuff there, but I'm really excited to kind of get into that one shot. And speaking of which, some of the stuff I teased before, for the one shot, that is when we will do our announcement trailer for our next campaign, and another giveaway for a secret thing, because yeah, I can't tell you right now, but you'll find out if you watch the one shot. So there'll be a second giveaway there, which also reminds you, join in our giveaway tonight to get a digital copy of Mordecai's Monsters of the Multiverse! Exclamation point monster to make sure to join. So make sure to do that in the chat before we end. We'll do that in about 30-45 minutes or so. That being said, all of y'all, as you can see, had a little upgrade and things like that, and you know, I like to make your names there. But how do you feel about the characters going forward and all that kind of stuff? Unresolved issues.
I vote reverse order.
Ooh, I agree.
Thanks, Steve.
Brady's always in the middle.
You both decided.
We wanted the sandwich, to be fair. We did that to
You
ourselves.
two wanted this.
How I'm feeling about this one shot?
Yeah, about Glass returning to help Rhea finish some unresolved issue.
Yeah, I mean, she would have done that. Anyways, I mean, Glass and Rhea Glass is Rhea's childhood friend, but Rhea's not Glass's childhood friend because their age difference is like 100+ years.
Time is weird in the Feywild.
Time is it's weird. But yeah, no, I mean, she's ready for it. She also probably wants the Rose King to stop being roommates with her patron because that's kind of weird, like when she comes over. So, you know, she doesn't want that.
Gotta get Daddy back in his own house.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's I'm really excited. I'm really excited to play Glass in this more realized kind of state, way more magical, obviously. I love warlocks. Yeah, her hair is gonna be all sparkly. I'm really excited for all the new designs too. So working on
a little behind
Autumn.
the scenes sneak peek of stuff to come. So yeah, you might see some new art done by Raphazeel.
Yep. So it's gonna be fun.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, Brittany, how about you? How does it? And we'll kind of come back to that too, or if you guys want to add in like your characters post game from Feywild, like how they're feeling having defeated all this and what they're doing afterwards. But Rhea, how does it feel to go home and realize your job's not done?
It's completely expected. Her father's an idiot.
I don't know what you're talking about. We had all of our defenses up. I mean, I could not have been foreseen.
Not even gonna start role playing with you now, Mike. We'll get into that in the one shot.
Well, I was gonna ask too. How did you like the evolution of the Rose King? Because I knew nothing about him going in. So of course you know that I kind of brought a little bit of inspiration from Sai in, just to have like a base. But how do you feel the Rose King played out throughout the campaign?
Oh no, it's exactly what I pictured. It was exactly what I was hoping. I was like, this isn't some like, I love my dad so much, I'll do anything for him. This is like, I have to help him because he's an idiot and he's running a court. Fuck.
He's screwing a court.
He's screwing a lot of things. We're just giving Ray a real fucked up view of love and relationships. No, she knew this was coming. As soon as she got the message in the game that her sister was visiting, she's like, well, you're gonna have to go kill a bitch finally. Because her sister's real smart.
Yeah,
and that was based on some real lore. The Rose King does have a daughter, although she's not evil in the official lore. She's like a really good person.
Actually, the one lore that I read was talking about that there was a bastard daughter of his that was always out to dethrone him, and that's where I came up with the idea of her sister. And I threw that in there.
Oh, I didn't look up enough then. I only saw the one that he had.
I have no clue what lore that's from. It could have been fake.
Yeah, no.
It could have been a wiki somewhere, but
Some
there's like
fanfic.
a million. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I think I told you my original like art idea and how he ended up in the painting was like a real Loki, not Marvel Loki. And I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I expected. And this is how I expected him to fuck up. So we're good.
oh, of course. I mean, Loki is always fighting himself, you know?
No, he has children to do that.
Exactly. What's the point of fucking around and having children if they're not going to fight for you?
Anyway.
And how about you, Autumn? How do you feel about where Autumn's at with her father? And let's speak about the ending. As she lost her smile, she lost her dad, but she got both back. So how is Autumn taking that, and how do you think it'll be different going forward into this one shot?
Well, I mean, pretty much the whole time going through, I mean, when we were working on her backstory to kind of figure out how to fit her in, I kind of always assumed that her father had already been dead, and that's kind of what Autumn had assumed as well, which is why she was very closed off for most of it. She was just waiting to discover it for real,
right.
And especially because of the Feywild and everything, and like her father teaching her like, you don't deal with the Fey, and then finding out that he dealt with the Fey and now he's gone. It's like, well, okay. But yeah, she was happy to get him back, as much as she didn't want to admit it, but yeah, for the return,
That's such a touching scene. This was really
yeah,
fun.
that was.
Were you expecting that possibility at the end? I was kind of curious because like you're really good at predicting things, but
So I was pretty sure I was in the clear until there was mention of a wish, and until that there was mention of Rhea and aka Britt getting to choose what that wish was, and I just knew like the whole time. Like I'm pretty sure when that came up, like you could see me just like.
Yeah, well, to be fair,
fucking do it.
to be fair, that wasn't the only option there going in, because I had to kind of plan that out a little bit of like, I kind of wanted to know what's going to happen. There were other wishes on the table that were possibly going to happen too, and I think, you know, a lot of them were bringing back some of the original characters as well. I think you mentioned that at the end of the campaign, so yeah, it was really interesting to see how that all played out, and it was kind of nice too. I think I really liked the fact that you got your dad back, because I already had known the ending, that I had chosen to have Phelan and Azrael come back as children to relive their lives, kind of how they did, like in that little portal that you see. So they're adults now, and having lived their lives with not having lost anything, but having the memory of what happened, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so so opening it up to all three of you guys then, how did you feel about the campaign as a whole? I know we've definitely at length talked about the failures of the roller coaster mechanic, and possibly also
It's
kind of how it
wild.
feels about two different sides of the module. There's the carnival side and then the hag side. But
Mhm.
overall, what did you guys think? You know, did you guys have fun? Is there something you would have liked to have seen more of or done differently? Especially knowing, like, you know, I did this by the book, but going back, let's say we had done it again, what you would like to see different or what you liked and didn't like of the campaign.
It's turn.
Let's
Yeah.
start in the middle.
Yeah, Brittany, Oreo style.
Ooh, on the inside of the Oreo.
Yep.
Yummy. I want Oreos.
No comment.
Shut up. Anyway, drink your shot.
Hashtag mature audiences.
Fuck it.
No, I mean, I liked it. I like how it seemed like, so the carnival was like one thing, and it was almost, it wasn't like what I expected of D&D, but then like when we went to the Feywild, I was like, okay, this is D&D. This is, we're traveling, we're finding things, we're doing things. The Feywild was more like, the carnival was really fun to just like play around and take risks, because there was like, well, we're not gonna, I didn't think anyone would die at the carnival, and nobody died.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, nobody died at the carnival, to be fair. But it was really fun, and I liked all the little details they put into these things, because when you are into like the lore and stuff, they put all these little hints and stuff. Like, weren't you saying one of the guys is like dogs in the artwork, on, like every freaking map or something?
It's not every map. I think it's the last one. Chris Perkins' dog is in the Palace of Good Heart.
Yeah, somewhere, and I just thought it was really fun how they did that.
But yeah, they had a
With,
lot
like, a
of
bunch of
little
other
stuff
stuff.
here. Yeah, I don't know which map it's on, but there's somewhere.
Yeah, there's like
a
4
dell.
palace maps.
I think it's on the Prismere map.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Prismere.
It was just really fun to like
This is Chris Perkins'
look
dog.
through all the things.
So cute.
Mm.
And you know, it
Like
goes. And also here's Tasha. Oh, we can't see it because of.
I'm
Well,
blocking it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see it on this side too. I guess I'm blocking it. But anyways, I mean, you got like stuff there. Anyways, that's going into spoiler territory. So,
Yeah.
but you know, I do have to shout out, and I meant to mention this when Angie was on here. Angie did figure out there is a puzzle on this map, and I don't want to give away too many spoilers. We did kind of speak about it in the game a little bit, but there is a clue in this that has to do with the end game that your players can actually figure out. And it's really cool to see some of the details there and how it all adds in. And then there's another thing of like the theme of 8 and 3s and infinity. So you can see like the carnival is a figure 8. There's a lot of like things like that. So the 8 was supposed to the infinity, and the 8 was supposed to represent the Hourglass Coven, and the 3 is supposed to represent the good of Zybilna and stuff like that. So it was just really, really cool to see all the symbology throughout it. It was like fun to see you guys pick up on that lore. You know, Tasha was kind of referenced way early on, and like just kind of a carnival thing, kind of a thrown off piece, things like that. I mean, who knows? Maybe even the Lollipop Kid has, you know, a lore.
Was he
behind
actually
him.
in the book, or was that you?
That was totally me.
I know.
He probably watched Shrek and saw that child.
I did actually. I wanted to watch Shrek. I watched Shrek, and then I was like, totally adding this kid into the carnival.
Hated that kid. I
So the
still
first
want
one
to
is
kill him.
like, get out of the way! I'm ready to go to the carnival. I loved it. Yeah, you guys didn't get to kill some of the most hated NPCs. Amador, the kid, they both survive.
Autumn got to whip the kid's lollipop.
That is true. That is true. But what about you, Nick? What about some of your favorite and least favorite parts of the campaign as a player?
I mean, aside from like just shining moments that I felt for our characters, the module itself, I thought the carnival was fun, because it was just wacky and loony, and that's what it's supposed to be, right? It's a carnival, and obviously there's a chance for death, but there was a lot of stuff that you could kind of uncover and slowly kind of figure out where the game is going to go once you kind of traverse into the Feywild. The Feywild side of the story itself, I mean, I think my favorite one was either the first or the second.
Interesting. Okay.
I think the second one probably was, but that was more so because of us and not the
Like,
not
the way
not
you
the
guys
like
set
I
the
liked
plan
our
and
I liked our
yeah.
plan, how everyone was involved and how it all came together. In the end, it did work. Obviously, we had some oopsies, but what group doesn't have oopsies? We all lived, so
The living group.
yes, yeah, right.
Everyone lives.
But it was
just
fun.
Maybe on a different plane of existence. That's all.
Yeah, I was very happy that I got to flex a lot of the gunslinger stuff in
That was
the
really
second
cool.
act.
Yeah, Autumn was insane. You were a DM's issue for half of it. There was many times in Endgame that I was just HP buffing enemies for the sake of, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it in a way to like undermine that, but it was tough. Whereas like things were going down in one round, I'm like, I know that's not fun for you guys either. So, you know, I kind of had to. Well, sometimes it was, especially Kellic. You guys took down the League of Malevolence in one round in a surprise round. Like, okay.
I forgot they were even a thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't.
Autumn
compared to
didn't.
You guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was on the lookout for him.
No, so I totally agree. I definitely think the second half is kind of where this module falters, and I think could have definitely enjoyed an injection of homebrew and a different feel about it for sure. But,
Yeah.
and there's some really good resources on Reddit. I mean, I definitely read a lot of good ideas where I'm like, oh, that'd be really interesting if we were playing this more longer like a Strahd game. You know, there's this whole like other hag that you guys could have gone to. I don't know, it was really weird. I don't know, this whole like, apparently there's some like one line in the book that talks about like another plane of existence that's within Hither,
Oh.
called like Gleam Shore or something like, or Gleamstone or something like that. But I never like saw it in the book as like relevant, and so like a lot of people were like, oh, I made up some really cool stuff here where they could go as like a haven away from like the hags or stuff like that, but the hags are never really a threat to you guys, so, you know. Also don't know if this is really meant for 6 people. I think this is really more meant for like 4 or maybe 5. So, but yeah, no, it was still a lot of fun though to have like the character interactions and stuff like that. Like Autumn was really fun. I mean, we have a whole emote that came out of that, and I think it's gonna last for a while. So. No, and it was really cool to, I think, to also see to highlight so many women in our streams as well. That's actually been something I've been very prideful of and like happy that we're not just a group of like all guys, you know, which is, I mean, not bad if that's all you have, but, you know, to promote that, you know, there's like that stigma of like gatekeeping and like, you know, like this is a guy's world or like a guy's game and stuff like that. But like we have 3 badass women right here on the screen that like all like did really, really cool. So yeah. All right, what about you, D? What was your like favorite parts or least favorite parts of the campaign?
I think it did get a little sluggish in the middle. But I think most campaigns tend to get that way at times, you know? So I don't think it was really the module's fault, but I've also never followed a module before.
It's not the module's fault, just the DM's fault, I think.
Yeah, it's just the DM's fault.
It's
No, it's the module. But, no, I just mean like, you know, even in books, like, it happens. You're gonna hit, you know, times where it's like, I didn't really like that chapter too much. Like, and it's not your fault. It's just kind of how it's written, you know? I mean, I have the book now and I'm going through it. But yeah,
I'm excited to see, like, what you think, like, when you read it of, like, things that could have been done different. Like, oh, I would have liked to have seen this, or like, oh, this could have been skipped, or things like that.
Yeah, I think injecting, I think if I ran it, I would inject even more of that wonder, like Alice in Wonderland feel, knowing hindsight. I would not have expected that going into it blind, but I think it'd be really cool to pull even more elements of that out, and then do it like a play, like everybody does have a role that they fit in for Alice in Wonderland would be kind of like, that's what I kept thinking of like, oh crap, you're actually this, like, especially with Moongrave being so theatrical, she sets everybody up right from the beginning to play a part, and like that would kind of be another fun side element of like, you know, she is controlling and kind of being the...
That was something that we never really got a chance to do, and you're right, I wish I had read ahead and known that and played up that aspect of like her pulling the strings the entire time,
Mhm.
a little bit more, because that play side was actually pretty cool. And at the time
it
and
could've
way
been really
things
cool.
were going, I was like, I think this like, and if the way things were going, I thought that little marionette like puppet thing that was really creepy of like your puppets like telling the whole story of like what you guys were doing and then up to now.
We just felt more annoyed with that part than anything too, and we're like, GTFO, like.
This bitch.
Yeah, if I didn't if I let Autumn be herself, she would have shot those things. Like,
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not gonna. Mike's trying to do something fun. I'm not gonna shit on that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's fair. That's fair.
Oh,
No,
it
I mean, I
fun.
was totally ready for you guys to attack it. It was like I think it
She
even
was-
said like it just like breaks apart and falls over and then like
Yeah.
it has the envelope come out. essentially.
Well, I just remembered how we introduced the character. I was playing a shooting game.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, back to my
That's
roots,
what
I
she
guess.
does,
Just
yeah.
Pop, pop, pop. I think my favorite. I really did like the carnival a lot. I'm not the best with picking up clues in game. It's a very much a hindsight thing for me. So Mike like sprinkling in these like poems, like I usually take really good notes, but I didn't know how long this game was gonna be, so I did not take any notes. I think day one I like took like 5 bullet points and I was like, nope. And then Brittany did like all of them, so thank you. I really liked being a dragon though. I think that was my favorite part.
That was
pretty
definitely
good.
the best rule of cool, I think, thing that I did. Technically, it's not allowed in polymorph to become a dragon because they're dragon, not a beast or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it has like the same exact stuff as like a giant ape essentially, except the breath. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
broken by any means. You guys would have wrecked face either way. So I thought that was
Yeah.
really fun.
And I really liked having my egg that I like toted around the entire camp.
Like, what is
I-
this?
And it paid off. I have Aura and he hangs out with me and he's probably a lot bigger too. Crap, I probably need a drum. So, you know, there's they hang out and they can like magical girl transform together and you know, maybe she can be an adult dragon this next time.
Rawr.
Mike, I forgot.
Right.
I love Rotten.
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 Yeah, where did
Rotten was great. I loved
how
him
did
so
Rotten come
much.
about, Brittany? What were we
I was
playing at the
playing-
time that we decided to start this?
Listen, it's a great game.
It is. What did we play? Some people don't know.
It's a really good game.
Oh crud, what was it called?
Kenna.
Kenna?
Kenna.
Kenna.
Something of spirits,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Mhm.
Kenna was the game where they had all the little rots running around. And we're like, well, we can't copyright rots, so we'll call them Rotten.
Yeah.
Yep. He was spoiled rotten.
Oh,
Him getting on that mushroom soup though, that was so good.
So like, if you find bagels in the sea, why aren't seagulls in the bay, man? What? It was so
I
much
love
fun just looking up
Brian.
like high, like the like high statements, like 420 comments, and just having those ready for like the stupidest moments. And he was actually really fun to then be like, if I want to steer you guys and force you guys in a direction you're not gonna go, it was my fun little way of being like, no, I want you guys to do this interaction. Thank you.
Yeah,
And I
you
never
pulled
did it
that
in a way
on
that was
with
like a
the-
threat to you guys or kill you, but it was like, I want you to go through this because it's fun or like important.
Yeah, the little pixie place.
Pixie place we went because of Rotten. I mean, we probably would have
Mhm.
ended up there eventually, but I love that.
I think
he-
you guys were thinking about skipping it. You guys were talking about like, because you had already
Oh.
got
It's only had a limited amount of tickets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
And then I kind of wanted the roller coaster because I thought it was a very well written narrative thing off of mechanics. So
Yeah.
that was
The
fun
mechanics were
messing with you guys.
optional.
Yeah. So, oops.
I think, yeah, hindsight maybe. That's another thing I think is good. But it's good to know because I think, you know, we started the module right, like hot off the press kind
nobody
of situation.
had any tips of like what to do and how to run it better, like
Mhm.
avoid
Yeah.
this. So like I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be that guy. You guys get to watch and see what not to do, or
Mhm.
what to do. So
Yeah.
I think it's actually, I think it was fun and it added that element of chaos that, like you said, like you didn't read ahead, like
yeah,
too
there's
far
sometimes that
ahead.
yeah, like I had no fun. Like you guys would like skip ahead and be like, I don't know what's fucking happening. Like sure, just where are you? And I would just read it.
But it works because it's the Feywild, right?
And
so like
love
I
being
actually, I thought I liked
improvising,
that.
So
Yeah, it was more improv. So I thought that was
I
fun.
remember like some people would be like, how do you do that? Like, that's insane. And I'm like, well, that's just because I'm lazy and I didn't get ahead yet.
Procrastination, friends.
Procrastination.
Practice makes perfect.
No, it was really fun. So there were a few hiccups that I probably would have done different if I had read it better. And like by the end, like Motherhorn and Palace was something I had like pretty much read ahead by the time you guys got to it. Except for the first day of the Palace. I had like read it, but I hadn't read your route yet. So I knew like the garden and like figured, they probably won't get much past this. And you guys were like, we take this route to the top tower. I'm like, fuck. I didn't even know there was a 50. Where's 50?
Yeah, I know we were looking for. Like,
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second too?
that map? Woo!
Well, no, that book.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was probably my least favorite part of the module.
Yeah, I remember Lit and Nick, you guys were like raging after that. You're like, what
Yeah,
the
we
fuck?
literally had a good 15-20 minute conversation about how dumb it was to have that book there. And
Yeah,
that
the
there was
Death
no
Note.
way to stop players from getting to it because we superseded the whole palace because of it. We
No,
did, yeah.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
the crown should have stopped you from getting there.
Well,
until you
like I
figured out the
said,
crown.
the one way to avoid that is all it needed to be was the second door. Like, has anybody ever played what's that old game? I think it was called Descent. It was like for the freaking
yeah.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Remember, you had to get the red card to get the blue card to get the yellow card to then get the gold key.
Yep.
That book was the gold key.
Yep.
All we needed was a red card. Like
Mhm.
that would have solved everything. And it's like, whatever.
And I get like it was supposed to be like an alternative option and like a way to like reward your players for being smart, but I do agree. I think it should.
We
been
weren't
behind.
smart. We just guessed. We were just like, let's go to the top.
I don't know what is this fucking.
No,
for?
we were being smart.
No, we were not being smart. We were just like, I want to go to the top of the tower.
And you guys,
Yeah,
maybe I
that
should
raid
put
room.
maybe I should put our sister in there. Maybe she'll die. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, she'll love walking all
Yeah,
around this palace.
I'm just curious how many other groups stumbled into it. Because I
Yeah.
don't feel like we stumbled into it.
Yeah.
It made sense. We were looking for things, and if you're in a tower, why wouldn't it be at the top? I mean,
And how the League of Malevolence was like sprawled out in the castle is really weird too, because it's like how you interact with them and where
But-
they would be. That was kind of weird for me too. Like,
I mean, I feel like that's just part of being a module.
yeah, for sure.
They have to in a way pretend like every other room is completely unaware of every other room.
Right,
So if something
exactly.
happens, the world doesn't adapt.
Yeah.
That room adapts.
There's only
so,
like one way for them to adapt, and then I'm like, and then what? What are they gonna do? Have a trap for you somewhere? Like, so many routes, they don't know where the freak you are. Like, oh,
yeah.
So that was really kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But you guys brought up a good point. I think one thing for me as a DM after looking at this campaign, and like it's really interesting because I never really thought of this as two different modules. I would say run this as two different modules, or find a better way to connect them if you were going to run them together. But I actually do wish, and I get why the Feywild lost the colors and was like very doom and gloomy because they took over. But that's kind of what sold this module for us, was like, oh, this is fun and Alice in Wonderland and crazy and colors, and that's what the carnival was. And so you're kind of expecting that but with danger, like Critical Role style, as you run into the Prismere, and it wasn't. And that's where it was missed. And like, I know it kind of played up, like there's parts where it's like, as your characters are doing good things, have like colors show up. And I tried to play that up a little bit, where it's like, you guys are like uplifting the down gloomy stuff, but
Like we did in the carnival. It was supposed
exactly,
to
yeah, it's supposed to match that a little bit. But I wish there was parts of this where even if you had traveled to Prismere and there was like that light and fluffy Feywild aspect of like a chapter 2 in between, that would have been really cool. Or like in between these parts where it's like only Bevlorna's cottage was doom and gloom and everything else was fine, you know. But
I think it would have, I was thinking about this, I think it would have been really cool if the three spaces, like, taking that, like, doom and gloom aspect, but having things physically transform still. So it's not just, like, the colors, but, like, everything becomes creepy. Like this would actually be a really good like horror.
Yeah.
Like
they didn't make.
they could have leaned into that. Yeah. Like having like Endelin's
their direction
like whole
with it.
place being like creepy marionette puppets that like everything looks that way, and then it's also kind of like trying to look beyond that facade of like you look really scary, and then you know this thing's coming after you trying to help you, but like you're just like, no, I don't want to do it, and then it's no, it's actually trying to help you. It just looks this way, you know, like a Beauty and the Beast style, like that curse on the castle kind of thing. Everything's that I think something like that could add like a little bit more flavor, and then maybe instead of having us lose something as children, we're all there as adults, and we know we like having the item lost while we're there. Like, and at the end of the carnival, we realize, wait a second, there is something different. Because I feel like as a kid, especially with like glass, what I rolled was my height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm not gonna like I said, I'm not gonna go back through puberty just to be 3 inches taller. Like,
Well, I actually
No.
read something that was really interesting of the lost item. Instead of having it be like on the table of what you guys lost, have that be where you guys have kids and they get taken.
oh,
And so that was going to be
Like
like, if you have
adults.
a more combat oriented, like Taken style group where it's like, fuck these hags. What? You know, because there were kids that were taken and lost in this world.
Yeah.
And so to have your own kids be in there, or not, maybe not even your own kids, but
wow.
NPCs that are important to you, right? Or something like that, I think would be an more interesting way to have you guys be a little bit more invested in it. So
I will say
You're
it would
saying-
put more urgency
yeah.
in
Yeah.
people to like go through it faster. So like,
yeah.
fuck all this shit. I just want my kid back.
Plus, it wouldn't have been. I don't think that would have lent towards the RP side as well. I feel like this is like, look, we can make a deal. I just want my smile back. Like I don't care what you're doing, you know, that kind of thing. Because really, at the end was like, if you guys had just made deals to get through it, and when you freed Zabilna, she just would have been. They would have gotten so scared that they would have gone off to their own little domain tower where they just like are in hiding from her, and she's like, I'll handle it. Or you guys would be like, no, we'll handle it. And so that could be like another one shot or another encounter where then you guys go to a tower and take them out or something like that. So
Yeah.
that's like how it's written.
I was happy that my seasons were split up because that was way more important to class than her. Like,
Yeah.
so I feel like, and then Rhea being sent on a mission for, you know, because of her dad, and then Autumn having lost her, trying to track her father. Like, I feel like those 3 storylines, and then finding Colin and Gwen trapped here, like that made sense, you know. So I think having more of like a stronger reason than, oh, I was here when I was 5. I remember eating cotton candy and picking my nose. Like, that's it. Like,
Well, to be fair, there's
Okay.
also that intro one. Like, I wish I had started the campaign, and afterwards, I think they came out with a introductory where you guys are the kids as you run around the carnival and use
Yeah.
your items there. And I think that would have been cool to have. Then you guys feel like you lost something, interacted, and had some of these clues hinted there, and you come back and be like, nah, this whole time I wanted revenge. But like part of it was like, and I get where it's like, you guys maybe have wanted revenge before, but the carnival never showed up, right? So you had to wait for it to show up again. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, but you got people that can teleport you to other planes. Like, I don't know, it was a little loose with that. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I do think like Dee said, I think our own character motivations were stronger than what the module provided.
I agree.
Way stronger.
And I mean, and that's why you guys remember, like when I was reading into it, I was like, this is kind of like my players need to buy into this. And I told you guys, like, hey, just to let you know, this is kind of iffy-wiffy on how to get hooked. So just say yes in the beginning. Like, just go into it. Lean into this because it's a module.
Yeah, they kind of took like, and not that the carnival wasn't fun, but the carnival was kind of like the tavern, right?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Where like
Yep.
the module just wrote everybody at one place at one time and expected you to bond and keep moving without giving you any real motivation. So
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
like we played games together and we all lost things. That was what the module suggested was strong enough for us to form a bond to go take down hags.
Yeah, it was like what, because someone else bought your tickets, so it was like, huh, maybe we're supposed to all be together. Like that was
yeah.
just enough to keep, because that was the thing. Like I think Angie and Lit were saying, oh, you know, this is a great job for us to bond together, but I was worried you guys were gonna split. Well, you guys stayed together.
Autumn nearly did.
I think you guys
Yeah.
like, as if you had played your characters true and not been like, we got kind of lean into this as a module, I feel like you guys would have split up. And then I was like, I don't know how to really tie this together too well, unless you guys had shared information and then been like, all right, let's team up. I mean, we've all kind of gotten good information. Let's do this together then.
Mhm.
I think what affected it for a lot of the, because me and Dee, like our characters knew each other.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no one else did that, and I think it brings something different when you at least give one
Especially
person that
module.
you're. Yeah.
Mhm. And I think that's part of the reason I didn't want to do the background of the being a carnival hand, because honestly, if you're somebody working there, like what would be my pull to help out?
Why
Like-
would you be traveling around with them instead? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, wouldn't I want to be helping, you know? But I
mean,
also
you would
see,
recognize that they have something lost as well. Yeah.
yeah, but I think in another game, you know, if you were to redo it, I think a good hook, having us all experience that as kids, or have stronger hooks of having kids, and then having somebody be like, oh my gosh, I've seen your child, they went, you know, and then having that person kind of like initially lead them to like, this is the last place I saw them, I want to help you, you know, that, I think that would have been like way more understanding. But in the very beginning, I was like, I don't know.
I feel like the child is a little too strong of a motivation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, to have
Like
them taken.
if
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of Autumn, like if her motivation
She
was a
would've
child,
killed
she would
everything.
have fucking shot everything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
for a
that's fair.
combat oriented group. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I
We're
feel
not
like
gonna
you
enjoy
can't
this
play that-
carnival.
I feel like you can't play that any other way. Like
Yeah,
who would be
I agree.
loose about missing a child?
Yeah, let's make a
right?
deal. I'm not gonna fuck shit up. Sure.
Yeah.
That's my kid.
I last saw your child. Solve this riddle. I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face. Tell me where my
Yeah.
child is. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's working at a sweatshop by your sister Hag? Fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
have a particular set of skills.
I will find you.
Skills that make me a nightmare for hags like you.
Yeah.
Although this would be a good thing if you all had backstories connected, like a whole group of friends and their spouses, like a cruise kind of thing, and they all go, and then their like significant others taken, and then you're all just like, we have to go get our spouses back. Like,
Yeah, right.
that would actually be really funny.
Just run the other way.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're running this as a purely combat one, then
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's a lot of what ifs, but I think overall it was really fun. I enjoyed the craziness of it. A lot of funny moments.
Silent had a good point too. That I was going to bring this up earlier. So I don't even remember their name. E.T. something. I don't remember their name. But the gnome that was important in the beginning was just a warlock of Zybilna. And so was like she kind of like was like, oh, these people are probably gonna help. But like Silent's point was right. I was like, I was the entire time was like, how can I make this character more important? And I was waiting for them to retie her in, and they never did. It was just like she has some instrument that allows her to like detect people's destiny and who should do like, and that's all it was. It was like, oh, she could detect these people can do good.
That sounds like a Mary Sue to me.
That's exactly what it was. So I was like,
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't play it up
Great
too much.
handwriting.
But I was like, all right, well, I'll go with the like she knew to make their tickets, but that's about it, you know. So that being said, any last comments you want to have for your characters before I think we'll kind of wrap this up? Because to be honest, I'm actually starting to feel that cup of coffee and rum a little bit. So
Just a little?
just a whittle. I put a lot in there.
Yeah.
So plus it's 10:30. Like we said, we have our giveaway and stuff like that. So
Let's start with the queen.
Johanna.
Yes.
Yeah, any last comments? Anything you want to say about the campaign, about the one shot, about your character, about going forward with this?
I'm very excited for Rhea in the one shot.
Me too.
She is growing up a bit. Some, not gonna say good role models, but some role models.
Hey,
I'm good.
Which, here's
They're
another
good.
announcement too. So I've actually leveled up all of our players to level
Mhm.
15. So it's going to be one hell of a one shot. Basically, it's going to be a
Excited.
combat one shot. It's just going to kind of be like, you know, one and done. But I am super excited. Your sister's taking down the Rose King. The Rose King's exiled. You have gathering your group of the champions of the other courts, and that's what the guest stars are. Going to be the champions of different courts joining in.
And then my friends.
And they're their friends. So it's going to be super excited. Level 15. Yes, I'm super excited to see all new abilities. What you guys are going to do? Probably destroy everything in 2 rounds, and then we'll have to sit around for an hour in RP. But but yeah,
that's fine.
awesome. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
super excited. I'm super excited to see how this one shot's going to play. Any other closing comments for you?
D.
D.
Hey,
Hey.
that's for Rachel. Hey, that's it. No, I really liked it. I'm excited for the one shot. This is super fun. Y'all are awesome. Great character designs. Great. I mean, they're really great, guys. The art was
They
really
are.
Art was like the
Right.
best part of this.
The art was really good.
I mean, without it, this campaign would have been like a 6, maybe a 7, but it's a 9.
I just really loved everybody's creativity and input on this, and it was just really fun. And I love you guys all. Everyone on screen, everyone off screen.
Yes.
And last but not least, what a woman.
Yeah. Well, I guess first thing I should say is I'm glad that I was able to play a strong female character and not, fall into the typical, typical things that other men who play women characters do.
And I think you
so it
represented
was-
her really well.
Yeah, I thought it was very fun to have her in here. And as for the game, like Autumn said at the end, if you ever needed anything from her, just let her know, because she owed everybody here a lot, but definitely Rhea for giving her father back. So
I mean, at least you liked your father. You should have.
yeah, I know, right? maybe that's why she's a good role model. She can teach you those kind of things. But
Really interesting. The inspiration for your father was the inventor from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, the dad.
Man, like,
yeah.
Autumn's daddy.
Maurice.
I did think it was fine. I did think it was funny that he stepped in to try to stop Tyr, and she was just like, "No, I got this."
I got this. It's fine.
But yeah, I'm also excited for the Black Powder Hussy to come in full swing with what she's trained to do, which is hunt Fae and kill Fae.
This
So
guy's all
she's
good.
very excited to.
All fair
the
bad.
pro-
Maybe screw Faye.
No.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, I like how you're best friends with 2 Fae, but yeah, I hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate all Fae, but I definitely don't make deals with them.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to use her to precisely what she's built to do, and that's to hunt and kill Fae. So time to kill some bitch.
Well, I'm excited because during the one shot of the fall of the Rose King, your sister has gotten some help in revenge, as the Hourglass Coven has been taken down. Baba Yaga herself has
No.
assisted your sister.
No.
So we'll see what you guys have to do as Baba Yaga reacts her own revenge. So we'll roll that trailer one more time before we go into our giveaway. Yeah, so I'm super excited. We'll be back June 1st for the Fall of the Rose King, the one shot tying everything up with a bow for Feywild. So that being said, we'll have creepy tabletop and arcane anthems here for that in 2 weeks. You don't want to miss it, because we're definitely also announcing the next campaign that we'll be doing on Wednesday nights, and who will be playing. We'll have some new faces, maybe some returning faces. We'll see. So you definitely want to check that out. Be here June 1st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll also have another giveaway that night, so you definitely do not want to miss it. We'll go ahead and do some Bardic Brews in between, but let's go ahead and do our giveaway for tonight. You guys have been so patient. We have 26 people, 28 people actually. So last chance, exclamation mark monster, for your chance to win. Ooh, excuse me. I've been drinking too much. Oh, hashtag monsters of the universe of Mordenkinds. Thank
welcome.
you everyone for the hydrates
Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse.
and yep, that thing. And Autumn for the drinks. So that I'll give you guys the last second. Thank you guys so much, everybody, for everything that you've supported this channel. I honestly never expected this community to build. I never expected anyone to come and watch my homebrew Fates United Thursdays, and I never expected Wednesday to become what it did. You guys have shown your love so much. I look forward to Wednesdays every single week. It's my hump day. I get over it. I've told work absolutely not will I give up Wednesdays for work, unless, you know, it's a lot of money that I have to give it up. But, you know,
At some point, you gotta be responsible.
life. But so thank you guys so much for supporting all of our cast, all of our players. It's been a hoot just to experience a regular D&D tabletop game where you get to sit around with players and do this all. So I wanted to give back to you guys and do something special for you. So last chance, exclamation mark monster, because you know you got the monster pike to go ahead and win a giveaway. A monster. I want to be a monster, girl. All right. Everyone is eligible. I have mods, regular subs, everyone.
Nope.
Ready.
I already have it.
Yeah, I already have it.
Well, if you already have it, let me know. I'll re-roll it and give it to someone else. But, well, okay, that's fair. So you both have it already? I'll take you guys off.
Oh, we
I'm
did.
not.
I didn't put it in.
Well, both of you
Yeah,
guys
and
are on
I
this
just
list,
I didn't put
so.
myself in
Oh.
there either.
Well, let me take off Nightbot. Let me take Sassy. Let me take off Raphazeel, because all of you guys are in this. Maybe it's just chat. Who knows?
Yeah, it should go to somebody who
Raphazeel.
doesn't have it.
Yeah,
All
it should
right,
go to
cool. Let's roll it. It should show up. Yeah, Los Denarios has won the giveaway. Thank you so much. You have been around quite a bit, so thank you so much. I don't know if you're still in the chat. I think he went to bed already.
Nighttime.
Okay.
So I will reach out to you to make sure you get your key so you can put it in. Everyone give congrats to... I always have so much problem saying it. Los Denarios. That's how I want to say it. But anyways, that being said, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. I wasn't expecting... I figured with the campaign over, everyone was gonna be like, all right, fuck Wednesdays. But we'll definitely keep this going for now until the new projects start and get announced on the one shot. But we're aiming for potentially beginning of June, middle of June, maybe July, on our little next adventure here. We'll see. I don't even know. It's just an adventure for me. But Bardic Brews will remain on Wednesdays for now until that starts, and then potentially maybe Saturday mornings. So thank you guys so much. Let's go ahead and raid someone, as we always do, to see if anyone else is on. And show our love, as you guys always show love and respect to us. Let's see if who's on right now. Careful cantrip. Any of our guest stars on at the moment? I don't think so.
Do not see them now.
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes Creepy does on Thursdays or Wednesdays. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, quick, creepy stream.
Right? Yeah. Get on right now.
Go.
So, they're not doing. Never mind. I thought they were gonna do Feywild. So we'll do. How about Careful Cantrip? How's that? What do you guys think?
That's good.
Cool. So, Careful Cantrip. I'm gonna go my create a dashboard because I got to do that stuff now, and then I'll go to do our little outro. Careful cantrip. Perfect. So, thank you guys so much. We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow for Fates United. I know we've been off a couple weeks, so I do apologize for that. But we'll be back tomorrow for some epicness happening there. That is starting to hit its halfway point as well. So things are going to start picking up in Fates. Super excited for that. We'll not be back Sunday, but definitely check out Marquee Gaming. They'll be doing, I think, some Mario Party. Rich will be back on Monday for art. We'll be back on Tuesdays for literary Zelda, and it's super awesome. So we have stuff for you all throughout the week. We have Raphazeel streaming tomorrow with art. Definitely check that out. And thank you guys again so much. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, you guys make everything amazing, and I love streaming for you, everybody. So I love you guys, and thank you so much for showing your love and respect to me. Let's show the love and respect to Careful Cantrip as you show it to me. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.
One last time.
Yeah, one last time.
One last time. Hot bikes.
Okay.